Is that how bright I want to be? All right, let me light a candle. How the fuck? All right. All right. Hey, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm here, but I'm not here yet. Let me tell Patreon that I'm live. I'm gonna be. I guess I was just coming on here to chat because I told you guys that I would come back on today. Um, for those of y'all who was on yesterday. Also, if y'all want to do some readings, I'm okay with that too. Hey, Gen X, how are you? That's crazy that I typed that without even looking. Hey, hey guys. So I was hopping on here because I hopped on here yesterday. Let me make sure my phone ain't about to die. Because I'm known for hopping on live and I'm on 2%. Um, but I want to hop on because yesterday we had a really good conversation. You know, I hate that we had to end it, but I was on here for like 3 hours. And so I told some of y'all that I was gonna come back on today so we can kind of continue talking. I spent my day, I had a client earlier today, but then I spent my day working on my new project. And although I love it, it's so much information I want to share, and I'm like struggling to figure out like what to share at what level to share, because I know that they're going to be beginners to this journey, and I know that they're going to be people who probably don't. Hey Laura, hey girl. But I know there's going to be beginners that are just on their journey, and so I'm trying to figure out how to organize the information in a way to where we can start from the top. And then just kind of keep building on it, because I want to this to eventually be like a spiritual school and a spiritual space, and you know, for people. And so I'm excited because I've been working on it all day. Like I already have my first week structured out. It's just a matter of like how much detail am I giving people, because I don't want to confuse people right off the bat. But I've really found a easy way for us to understand this. You know, I think I'm really good at like metaphors and analogies and like things to kind of simplify things. And so I'm really excited about that. And I'm just excited about this new journey overall, because I feel like hey Damon, I feel like I'm at this place where, even though every time that I'm at this place, I feel like I'm at the place, but I feel like I'm moving into this era of my life where um, I'm in full alignment with what I came here to do. Because my life's path's energy is Master 33, which means that I'm a teacher. You know, and I love that. I love information. I love information sharing. I get really excited about information. I feel like because I be so excited about the stuff that I'm learning, other people are excited about stuff that they probably wasn't excited about until I came up on their screen. Like, y'all listen to this, you know? So I feel like it's definitely in alignment. It's just figuring out how I'm gonna do it. And I got a little frustrated. So I was like, you know what? Let me just get online. Let me just take a break. If it's not working today, it's not working today. That's fine. Even though I got a great amount of stuff done. Um, so yeah. So how's y'all week? I'm so excited this is happening. Period, Laura. I'm excited too. I'm excited too. Like I feel like I'm like finding my footing, you know, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was letting them know like it's okay for you to be multiple versions of yourself. It's okay for you to change directions, change your mind, like all of those things. I think when we still living in trauma, and we still have unprocessed whatever it is, for me, martyrdom. I have a savior complex, y'all. I even had a dream. I had a dream, y'all, and this is what told me I had a savior complex. And then I realized that in multiple lives, I've died trying to save everybody. You know, not having discernment. Like people who I told what these is the directions, they didn't fucking listen. I still try to save them, right? So I had a dream, y'all, and it was me, my mom, my brother. We were standing outside of a car, and this dude walked up trying to rob us. And you know, I'm standing to the side. My brother runs up on the dude, punches the dude in the face. The dude punches my brother back in the face. But when he punched my brother was looking through a mirror, which I thought was like, what the fuck is going on? Because my dreams sometimes are very symbolic. Um, and I have to like decode them, right? And so he's looking at himself in the mirror when the dude punches him. My mama go get the pew pew, which is very much so in her character. She go get the pew pew. She walked to the other side of the dude, pew pew to the back of the head. Tell my brother to get in the car. My brother get in the car, and she tells me to pull off without her. Nigga, I'm not doing that. We came in together, we go out together. And so I start to pull, like she grabs onto the door like she's getting in the car, but I pull off before she actually is fully in the car. And so I look back, she hanging on the door, feet behind her, right? And so the guy is chasing us. Pew pew remnants is flying through the car, right? I stop anyways. And she was like, just leave me behind. And I'm like, no, I'm not leaving you. So I stopped the car. He's literally next to us, basically shooting in the car. She gets in the car. I change directions. I go up this little hill or whatever. I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Because that's kind of insane. And I was like, why would she think that I would leave her behind? But also, like, why would I not drive a little bit more? Because he was like gaining on us, which it doesn't make sense when you think about it in hindsight. But I said with my oversoul about it, and my oversoul was saying that in many lifetimes, hey, Tanique. Hey, girl. I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, Deja. Or you might have jumped on yesterday. I just didn't get a chance to say hi. But I said with my oversoul about it because I was just like, why do I keep having these dreams where I almost die trying to save people? And my oversoul said, it's because you repeated that pattern over and over and over again. And I was like, oh, great to know. Thanks. And so I guess the last part of me releasing this martyrdom shit or shedding this martyrdom role that I've played in these last couple of lifetimes, because if you have high priestess energy, healer energy, most of the time you end up falling into martyr patterns because that's what it looks like when that energy is out of alignment. Was my career, was looking at the services that I provide and make sure I'm not still trying to save people. I'm not still trying to do the work for people. And then it made me look at mentorship, which I love mentorship. I really genuinely do. But I think some days I walk away and I'm really heavy. I think that one of my clients, her energy feels a lot like me. When I look at her birth chart, same shit, different fonts, like even down to our moon sign. The only thing that's different is her sun sign, but everything else is pretty much the same in our chart. And so she possesses energy that I had as a kid. And it's like the version of myself that I hate going, like when I'm in meditation and I go back and I visit previous versions of myself, this is the version of me that I hate. Meaning like, I don't hate her. I hate being in her energy because I wasn't speaking up for myself. I was letting everybody run over me. It's like I was suffering in silence. I was so depressed, and so I found myself trying to rush her through the process because I don't like sitting in that energy, because when I'm sitting across from you, I feel you. I'm feeling you all day. And so it was one of those scenarios where I had to check myself, after like a conversation that we had or like 2 sessions that we had where she was struggling with this. I had to go back and like sit with myself, and my oversoul brought it to my attention like, hey, you need to look at this. And then it made me, one, have to do some more work with that version of myself, because obviously I haven't gotten over the triggering part of it. But I was just like, I wanted to shake her and be like, girl, all you do is got to make another decision. Just make on the other side of this decision is this. Hurry up so we can get out of this energy. And I realized that it does really take a toll on me more than what I thought it did. And I realized that I was still in this energy of trying to save people and trying to help, because I didn't realize how much of my value I got from helping until I unpacked the whole martyr trope. And I realized, when I was a kid, we didn't have anything. And so the only thing I really could do was help. I wanted to help, but everything was out of my control because I can't get a job. I'm little, whatever. And so I just make myself useful by doing everything for everybody, by helping everybody in every way that I can to try to pay back a debt that didn't even belong to me. Trying to protect my mama from shame, or trying to protect my mama from having to owe people, and so I tied my worth to how much I could help, how much I can give. And I've just carried that into adulthood. And so now that I understand that, I looked at everything except for my work, because I love my work. And so I'm just like, girl, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But then I reviewed, like something told me to review like my oversoul design, because I was in a very uncomfortable position, meaning like nothing was forming, nothing is happening for like a month and a half. And I'm just like, what is going on? Why do I feel like everything is falling apart? And I know it's got to be for good reason, because 444 on the clock, change is coming, it's coming soon. I was like, I know it has to be for good reason, but I just don't understand the reason. Like, and so I just had to keep sitting with it. And then I realized that I would prefer to be a teacher. And so, hey, Gango Vision. Hey, I think it's Rhea. Hey, Rhea. Hey, Lisa. So yeah, so I realized that. So I've been working on it, but it's just like it's complicated because I know a lot, and I feel like when you know too much information, it can be really hard to figure out like what direction to move, what direction to go. But I have the first 2 episodes done basically. So we will see. It's not episodes because it's really not like that. Like half of it is gonna be like writing, and then I'm gonna have like certain modules will have episodes or lectures or stuff of me talking only for like 10 to 20 minutes. I ain't talking for more than that because that's insane. Um, but yeah, it's exciting to put it together though. Like I feel like I have all the energy in the world when it comes to this. It's just the organization or figuring out what I want to say and trying to say something different than what I've already said through the podcast and through like other things. I just noticed the 444. Yeah, it was on the clock, period. Needed that. You must be in on the West Coast. So yeah. Fasting, could not sleep yesterday, which is just a part of fasting. Um, but I realized too, like I feel like with this fast, I've realized that food is a drug. Food is absolutely a drug. Like there's no way that you should be having food withdrawals, you know? And I feel like I did this fast because I felt like food was kind of controlling me instead of the other way around, you know? And so I started this fast and it's just giving me a lot of clarity. I feel like I actually feel better. Like today I got up and I did a hard ass motherfucking workout. I don't even know what the fuck I'm on, but I got up and I did the workout and it's like my body felt better than it did yesterday. And I was just like, that's so crazy. And it made me realize, oh, thank you, boo. It made me realize that, you know, the whole idea of us eating 3 times a day, um, when they decided that, you know, and when they decided that we needed to get a specific amount of calories, we was malnutritioned as people, you know, and so I think, ouch, because they didn't have the same technology as we have now. They didn't have the same things that we have access now. They didn't know the same things that we know now, you know, and so that's a very European thing. Before they came over here fucking shit up, we used to just eat when we got hungry, and most of us would only eat like 3 times a week, and that was us eating in abundance, you know. And because our bodies are crystalline, which means that they actually take in light too as food. They don't just take in like physical food. We're spirit and matter. The spiritual side of us, we could go sit in the sun, and we're taking in a food source, an energy source. And so I'm trying to get to this place where I eat when my body is requiring it, because our bodies are designed to operate best when we're in a fasted state. Because when you're in a fasted state, your stomach is not processing your food, right? And when your stomach has multiple jobs. It processes your food, but it also helps you to process life. It also helps you to process intuition. Like your intuition in this physical reality comes through your stomach first, because your stomach is covered in a whole bunch of hair, you know, cilia, and those are receptors. And so in order for you to figure out whether or not you're in danger in this reality, most of the time it comes through your stomach. So if you're in a state of overconsumption, your ability to process life, your connection to your mind, because your stomach and your mind are deeply connected, because they both come from the solar plexus, right? And so you're in a state of overthinking, overconsumption, all of these things, and it just throws you off of how you naturally operate. And so I honestly am starting to believe that we're supposed to operate in a fasted state, and not in a state of overconsumption. Because if we were supposed to operate how they tell us to operate, then our body would not be dying. Like our body is literally dying the more food that we take in. It just doesn't make sense. Sleep during the fast is so rough, especially when I started dreaming about breaking the fast. Yes, that's the thing. You start dreaming about food, you start dreaming about everything. That was me yesterday. Actually, what I was doing last night before I went to sleep, I wasn't even on social media yesterday besides me hopping on here with y'all. Um, I was laying in the bed. All of a sudden, I'm like 10 videos deep and people cooking. And I said, girl, get your ass off of this right now. Like I'm 10 videos deep. And I said, okay, this is a problem. This is a problem. Repetition is good. You can use the podcast as supplemental resources. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Laura. I honestly, Phoenix. Okay, period. You know what? Phoenix actually is the place astrocartography wise that's the best for my energy. But I heard y'all got some big ass spiders, so I stay on this side. But repetition is good. I honestly feel like that's what I want to do. I kind of want to cross share, meaning like I've already did the spiritual intelligence. Like I started the spiritual intelligence thing. When instead of talking about auras again, I'm just going to list the videos as links for y'all to watch, because I feel like a lot of the work is already done and I've said it in such a beautiful, magnificent way before. I would hate to try to repeat it and it don't land the same. I would rather direct y'all to think like part of the homework is watch this video, watch that video, like that type of thing. And I also think I want to incorporate other people's stuff, but I don't know how that works for copywriting, meaning like stuff that I've watched or stuff that has helped me understand consciousness better or like whatever it is, but I don't know how that works. Hey, Chewy. OMG, I'm gearing up to fast. I'm gearing up, gotta fast now. I mean, yeah, me too. I'm in the middle of it, but we're gonna see how it goes. Make sure you're doing electrolytes during the fast. It helps me a lot, but everyone is different. I take fulvic acid and trace minerals, or I use Shilajit because most of the electrolytes that they give us are synthetic, and you can't get electrolyte. The only real electrolyte you can get is from fruit. And so I'll take fulvic acid and trace minerals, which is really, really good for restoring the minerals that are in your body, but also Shilajit. Shilajit has, I think, 92 of the minerals that we need or whatever. And so I put Shilajit in my tea, right? Because water, fast, tea. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing. How do you remove an attachment that's been with you lifetime after lifetime? So that's probably a attachment that's in your DNA. And so what you need to do is shadow work because it's attached to something that you have not let go of. And there are probably events that have happened in this life that are meant to trigger you to get back in the emotion of that energy. But DNA attachments or generational attachments that are passed through bloodline, most of those are attached to the DNA or attached to the bone itself, which means that you just need to heal, whatever it is because attachments can only stay attached to things that you have not processed. The only way to give an attachment access is unprocessed trauma. But the problem is that some of the unprocessed trauma is from lives that you don't know that you've lived. And so you have to remember who you are. And through you remembering who you are, which is exploring yourself, trying new things, meeting new people, healing from your trauma, not, like entering into an expanded state, then you start to loosen them up. Sorry, y'all. Drake, please. We could do this. All right. Sorry. I'm trying to get to hey SLC. Coconut water for electrolytes. Coconut water is good for electrolytes. The only problem is I cannot get my throat to open up enough to get it down. For some reason, it tastes horrible to me. And I've even tried flavored coconut water. I tried the ones that everybody get for like, if you hungover, like it's like blue and green, and it's got like it looked like a carton. But yeah, no, my throat do not play that. It do not like it at all. Like I put it in my mouth and I'll be like, oh my God, time to take it down. And my throat is just like, bitch, no, what is this? But I want to be the type of person who could take in coconut water. I just think that my taste buds have not evolved enough. You know how like when you were a kid, you don't eat ketchup or you don't eat green beans, and then you get older and all of a sudden you like those things like onions. I just think I haven't matured enough yet for coconut water. Plug your nose when you're drinking it. It's also the texture though. Like something about that texture is different. Like it feels, I don't even know, like kind of milky. Child, I don't know. Thank you for the Shilajit and fulvic acid tips. I have trace mineral drops too that That taste is tough. Yeah, I think the fulvic acid and trace minerals is definitely kind of tough. I've also been taking what do you call it? Hydrogen, but it's like a specific type of hydrogen. I think it's called like effervescent or something like that. But basically, hydrogen is the smallest particle, so it helps with inflammation and stuff like that. Hold on. Yes, take that in. But also, recently, well, while I'm fasting, what I've been doing, because I usually listen to a, yeah, I hate it too. Um, Usually I listen to frequencies and stuff when I'm going to sleep, and I'll listen to like detox frequencies, frequencies for my spine, frequencies for whatever the fuck is going on in my body at the time. The other day, I decided to listen to a frequency for inflammation because I'm taking the molecular hydrogen. That's what it's called. I'm taking molecular hydrogen for inflammation because I feel like it's a lot of inflammation in my body, right? And slick, I feel like my guides told me, one of my guides in my dream was trying to tell me that I'm pre-diabetic, and bitch, we ain't doing that. So I was like, which don't even make sense because I'm not even big. But anyways, my body just must not be equipped for this. So I started listening to frequencies for inflammation when I went to sleep. Yesterday, I woke up and I felt like athlete me again. Like my hips was moving, everything was moving. Even this morning, because I've done it like 2 days in a row now. Even this morning when I did my workout, like I felt like I was hitting that shit. And my body feels great. So if y'all not listening to inflammation frequencies, please listen to them. You should try the Harmless Harvest brand of coconut water. Is in the refrigerated section. Let me look it up. I think that's, hold on, let me see. Because I've tried a lot, babe. I promise you I have. Oh yeah, I've tried them. I tried they got a watermelon or something like that. Yeah, I tried the watermelon. Yeah. I actually had that one ordered to my house, sent to my house. And I actually did get it down. Like I chugged it, like I just, took it back, but I just can't do coconut water. I don't know what it is. Yeah, so I do a lot of sound healing. I've been sound healing for 4 years now, y'all, because I told you that I had got black magic attacked from like something I posted on TikTok. Like this white man, it's actually 3 of them that was attacking me, but the main one, he didn't like something that I was saying on TikTok, and he just did magic on me, which is a fucking crazy bitch. Magic? Ho, is you cool? But he did. And that shit was scary. And I done talked about it 1,000 times on the platform or whatever. But I realized that he made my energy very hard. And that's what he said he was going to do. He was going to make me docile or whatever. But I realized the energy in my body was getting really hard. And like my hips was starting to not be able to move. Like I feel like there was so much concentration of energy in like my wound, in my heart space, in the back of my neck, and also up my head. And so I just started sound healing, and it was just like I just knew what to do. And now that I remember who I am from previous lifetimes, that's how we used to heal ourselves, is through sound healing. And so I just randomly started, like the day after that happened, I just started putting on frequencies every single night. And so I've done a lot of energy work through sound healing, and then I studied it. And every single one of our DNA strands is associated with a music note on a music scale. Like every single one of our chakras is associated with a music note on a music scale, because we're a frequency, meaning we have a tone that we give off. So the universe is a symphony. It really is like a musical. It's feminine and it's sound. We came here to experience sound on a lower level or deeper level, I guess. But anyways, I've been using frequencies for a while. And so I don't know why. I just was like, you know what? You focus on inflammation. Why don't you do an inflammation frequency? I felt like a new fucking person the next day. A new person. Like even my shoulders, like everything. Like somebody took me and wrung me out or something. Try it. Don't sleep on it. I need to leave. Let me tell y'all who I use though, because some of them frequency, or some of the frequencies will some of them have attachments on it, meaning that like you got to be able to feel energy. And so the safest ones for me is Meditative Mind, Meditative Mind is really great if you want like frequencies that are pre-recorded. If you want sound bowls, chakra vibrations is a really good one. Ninad is another one, Ninad. But Ninad, do not do the one with the meridians, because you know your meridians is like it's like your ley lines of your body, and sometimes you have attachments already attached because it's your crystalline nervous system, your spiritual nervous system. So if you trying to open your meridians too quickly, sometimes you could, and so you're gonna be dreaming about some shit you don't want to dream about. And so that's what I would do. I need to look up frequencies for those sorry legs. Then yeah, I'm telling you, like it really, like my knees was hurting just a couple days ago. I started listening to them inflammation frequencies, baby. I'm brand new. At this point, I'm a new girl. And just not too long ago, or a couple last week, I was doing like ballet, like workouts and stuff, like bar workouts or whatever. This week the body is moving completely different, and I'm telling you, just trust me. Even that one wasn't good. No, it was not good, honey. And I don't know. I even had a coconut out the coconut, like out of the actual. It's something about the texture. It's something about the taste. Like I can't get behind it. Oh, I listen to the inflammation ones too. Yes. How does it make you feel, Laura? Like I didn't, and when I was listening to the inflammation frequencies, I remember because sometimes I'll be watching like interviews and all of the shit. And Dr. Sebi was saying, not Dr. Sebi, Dr. Sebi said the number one cause is mucus and sugar, right? What's wrong with all of us is mucus and sugar intake, which is crazy because in that dream, they poked me with like a diabetic. Y'all remember those little pink diabetic needles that your grandma used to have to kind of test your sugar? Like the little pink, they like little squares, but they got like a needle at the end. Like somebody poked me with one of those, and I was like, is they trying, and in my foot? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, somebody else though said that everybody is struggling with inflammation. And so when I'm listening to the frequency, I started hearing that like everybody is struggling with inflammation. If you can get rid of the inflammation, whatever. So I feel like my team actually guided me in that direction. But baby, how did you find out it was him? So weirdly enough, I'm psychic. I'm a medium. And so I can't see in my head. And so that puts me somewhat at a disadvantage sometimes because I can't see who's attacking me, whatever. But I had went to another psychic, and I was actually in like school with this person, and she was like helping me with my gifts and stuff like that. And I told her what was going on, and I had just been attacked. I went out the country and I was attacked. And so I was telling her about it, and I was like, this has been happening for like a year and a half, because he was attacking me for almost 2 years, y'all. Every time that I would get too high, get too drunk, get too anything, he was on my ass, okay? And like he would just start talking to my ear, and I know his voice because I'm clairaudient too. And so like clairaudience is probably one of my strongest gifts. Like I can hear, if you have ever spoke to me, I can pick up on your energy just by your voice, So she told me, oh, it's a white man. She's like, oh, this is a white man. Like I see him or whatever. She's going to remove, because he had put a tether in me. And a tether is like a spiritual tracking device. And so he wasn't always with me, just only in those moments when I activated this little tether thing, whatever the fuck. And so she removed the tether out of me, but I had a vision, because I be having visions sometimes, not like That's So Raven, vision. Like, no, I was taking a nap, and sometimes a screen will come up and it'll start showing me something. And so the first thing that I saw was like this blue dust over my heart. Like it was dust. And I knew in my head, like I knew this was magic. Magic looks like blue dust, and it has like a specific smell to it. And so what I started doing was pushing energy out of my chest in this, because I'm in the liminal space, meaning like my body is asleep, mind is still conscious, right? And so I'm in the liminal space. I know I'm in the liminal space because it's pitch dark, and that's usually what the liminal space feels like for me. And so it was blue dust all over my chest, and I started like pushing it out. And so I pushed really big, and something like opened, like I could see the dust kind of fly off of me, and then it hole opened at the top of my head, and I looked up, and it was 3 white men in suits. And they was talking about something, but one of their voice I recognized, and he's the shorter one. And so he put a cork or something in my crown, because I look up, they in my crown, like I could see him at the top of my crown. And then they put, it was like a cork or something that he tried to put into my head, and I pushed again, and as soon as I did, the blue dust flies up, the cork comes off, and then it feels like somebody, like when you get in black magic attacked, or when you get attacked in the astral plane, it feels like somebody's actually touching you. Like I could feel his hands. So like the second time I pushed it off, he placed his hands over my chest like this, like facing down, like over my chest like this, and I could feel his each individual finger. And so I'm pushing again, and then I see a vision. It's because spirit will kind of jump in, and so I look. It's like somebody cut my chest back, and it's like all the energy around my heart was super, super tight, and I could see my muscles like really, really tight around my heart. And then I jumped up. It's like I was trying to run away from something, and I jumped up in spirit, but then I woke up. And so I know what he looked like because I was shown what he looks like. If that makes sense. I don't know who this person is from a can of motherfucking paint. But I also have like weird things that'll happen. Like I had a dream, or I had an experience in the astral plane where, and this is something that I needed to learn in this lifetime, because this is something that kept repeating in past lifetimes, is like, I will feel that danger is near. And I'm like, come on, we need to go. And somebody will be like, no, we just need to do this, or we just need to play dead. That's happened multiple times. Like, we just need to play dead. And then I end up getting taken or kidnapped. And whoever it was who was there with me, they're gone. They're not the person who's suffering whatever the consequence of listening to them against my own better judgment. And so I was in this place, and it makes me think of, I don't know if y'all been seeing those videos of like the mall world, like people who are going to the mall world, and it's like a whole world and multiple people are having this experience, right? And it has a bunch of escalators and stuff. I think I was taken there because there was it was like I was in a psych ward, and this is multiple dreams I had in this place. And so like it kind of looked like a psych ward, and because I was going up to the counter like I was getting medication. They was trying to give me medication, and I was like, no, I ain't taking this shit, right? And one time I didn't have no pants on, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, I think I went to sleep with no pants on though. But they were trying to keep me medicated or something. They kept it like the whole place was white, and it was full of people. It was a bunch of people in there, but you had to stand in line to get medication, and they kept trying to force me to take this medication. I was like, no. And so I woke up in that place like 3 times. On the 4th time, I seen like a aerial view, and it was like an escalator kind of going up to where this place is. And it was a dude in like a baseball cap, and he looked like you know how like agents and shit look off of TV once they have, the government has decided to kill them off, and they always got on like a cap and some glasses and some jeans and a t-shirt. It was like that type of situation. And so he goes into the facility, and I know I don't see him kill anybody, but I know that he unalives people to get to me. And the next thing that I know, we in a car together. And so I look over at him, and he said, you don't remember who I am, do you? And it flashed me back to this vision I had a couple months prior, where I was getting chased by this guy. And it's like I had a vision that underneath this bridge was a car. And when I got to the car, I was trying to help them because it looked like they was broken down. And as soon as we got out the car, they unalived us. And then it's like a vision within a vision. So as I'm coming out of the vision of seeing this guy unalive us, we're moving up towards the bridge. And it's the same guy that had got me out of the facility. That was the same guy who was throwing knives at me. I got away from him though. And so as soon as he said, you don't remember who I am, I crushed his glasses, because if you got on glasses, bitch, I'm hoping your ass can't see. And so I like literally balled his glasses up, and I like pulled the door open, and I'm leaning out the car. We're on the highway, and I'm like kicking him, and he's trying to like get at me, and I roll backwards out the car. And I know for a fact that guy has been chasing me for lifetimes. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's just like I don't know. It's just like, I forgot why I started telling y'all this. But anyways, I be having visions, and it's like I've been attacked by people who are actually here, but I also been attacked by people who got beef with me for centuries or some shit. I don't fucking know. It make me think of that one movie that's on Netflix. where the guy comes back and like the same guy's been hunting him for many lifetimes or whatever. That's what it made me feel like. Yes, girl. I think they are pulling us in. Yeah, I feel like because what happened before I ended up in that facility was like I was in a mall. Fuck, I didn't even put that together. I was in a mall, y'all. I was in a mall, and you know how like I couldn't see fully ahead of me, but I knew I was in the mall because next to me was like a restroom, and then it was like a glass case or whatever. Somebody comes through the mall and they're shooting, and I'm like, "Come on, we need to go." And she said, "No, no, no, we just need to play dead." And as soon as I laid down with her and I agreed with her, I was in that facility. Every dream after that, I didn't even think about me being in the mall. Thank you for saying that, girl. I didn't even put that together. Oh shit, I just got wrapped up in those mall world videos. Yeah, I was in a mall and I didn't even realize that I was in a fucking mall when the shooting happened. Then I got like as soon as I agreed to it, I just disappeared. It was like I disappeared and I was in this facility. Like the next thing I see, I'm in this facility. Hey, Niasia. Hey, Primordial Billionaire. I'm sorry, let me go back up and say hi to y'all. Then you get the strip. Hi, Jay. Thank you. Yes. Meditative mind. Yep, those are the ones. Thank you, Divinely Nah. I appreciate that. I noticed you said that before, so I just stayed away. Yeah, Ninad though has really great frequencies. It's just that one specific one. And I think too, if you just like feel we are feelers, right? We're feelers. And so if you're listening to a frequency, your body should be having some type of reaction. Like you should feel the energy start moving in your body. And actually, let me not say that because if you have really, really dense energy, you're probably not going to feel anything the first couple of times you do it. What the hell is that place? It's so weird. I don't know. I honestly think because you know that so when we dream across the ley lines of earth, right? We dream across earth's crystalline nervous system, and I think they put traps in little things on the ley lines to kind of catch our soul energy. And some of us will have astral parasites that will basically are siphoning our energy, but some other of us are like spiritually kidnapped. Like our soul is spiritually kidnapped while we're dreaming. Because when we dream, we give off a lot of soul energy, whether we know it or not. And so I don't know if they like harvest that shit like Monsters Inc. or what. But yeah, I didn't even realize until this conversation that I had been to that mall world place until now. So that's interesting. Because I haven't been there a lot. I've only been there twice. But somebody came in there and got me though, and it was like I knew that this person for multiple lifetimes had been chasing me. Like he legitimately, I've seen him twice, and he always has on his. Actually, I've seen him 3 times because I had a vision that hasn't happened yet. Like I know this has not happened yet, but I was coming out of a store, and when I looked to my left, he was standing right there, and I like snuck behind the building. But that hasn't happened yet. That's still to come. Because I also have prophetic dreams, meaning like I'll dream about something that hasn't occurred yet. That one is the only distant prophetic dream I can think of. But yeah, it was the same guy. And so I've seen him in my dream world a couple times. All of your live streams be on time for me. Appreciate you. Period. You're welcome, love. But it's so wild to talk about because I feel like a lot of us don't be talking about what be happening in the dream realm. Like we don't realize that the dream realm is for soul retrieval. It's also for like memory recall. Like a lot of times you end up in like an oversoul vault or something. Also like your subconscious mind is also telling you things from past lives that you need to look at. So past life memories come through the dream realm as well. But because you're dreaming in the dream field, your dream field can be hijacked. Like you have a soul field, but you also have a dream field, and that can be hijacked. Yes, I am. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm the most powerful motherfucker in my dreams. The stuff that happens blows my mind. Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot more conscious in my dreams now than I used to be. You know, I feel like back in the day, I used to, because I didn't know what dreams were, but as I started studying it, as I started looking into it, as I started, whatever, um, I'm getting a lot better at navigating them and getting myself out of sticky situations and all of that. What school or who do you recommend to help me develop my gifts? Um, I don't know, love. Because the person who helped me, I'm not recommending anybody to her. Um, because she's just not a nice person, you know, or she wasn't to me. I'm not gonna say that that's not gonna be your experience, but I hate for you to get over there and then it's like, Taja, I noticed this, because I've had people come back to me because I was recommending people to her at first, but I've had people come back to me and be like, girl. And I'm like, but did you learn though? you know? So yeah, but I'm actually working on a spiritual school right now. And it is going to have gift development and stuff like that. Cause right now the only gift development that I'm doing is with my mentees. But again, I'm moving out of that energy. Yeah, I'm working on it right now, but I don't it's gonna take me a second. It's gonna take me a second to get us there. I remember bits and pieces of my dreams throughout the day at random. I'm trying to figure out what they mean. You need to write them down, Sarah, because your dreams are a part of short-term memory sometimes, unless you're astral projecting. If you astral projecting, you're gonna remember the full dream, every detail, everything, and it's gonna feel very real, right? But when you actually dreaming, it usually goes to your short-term memory, and so you need to set your intentions before you go to sleep. You can also get you some more mugworts tea, just don't take it every day, or some blue lotus tea. That'll kind of help you get into a trend or a dreaming type of state. But you need to write them down, because when you write it down, you're telling your body that you expect to remember. Okay. Yes, I've been logging my dreams, thinking about putting them in a book. Setting intentions before I sleep helps a lot. Yep, that definitely does. Okay, I see. I was waiting on you to say that, so I'll wait on you. Yeah, I wish I had somebody I could send you to though, love. Both the people, like the first person who helped me with, Jimmy, the first person who helped me, she's a nice lady, but it just felt like she didn't give me any advice whatsoever. It was just like, oh, call this person. I call the person I do the reading. She's like, okay, that's good. See you next time. And I'm just like, you don't have any feedback? You don't have anything? And they're just like, no. Do you got the money? And I'm just like, okay, well, that doesn't work for me. And so I went to somebody who looked like me. And she really was actually kind at the beginning of it. It's just that I think realizing that I had a platform just made things very weird. Um, and I just, because when I went into the class, I didn't tell anybody I had a platform, even though people in the class noticed me, which I didn't find out until later. But I didn't tell her because why would I, you know? But then she just got really weird, and I even posted about her, like was help, like I had a video go viral about her, and like was sending everybody to her, and then she just was being weird and blocked me and all of this weird stuff. So, child, I ain't sending not near another person over there. So if I find something else though before then, before I start offering it though, I'll let you know. So I think I bought a spiritual service from pretty much everybody on this app at one point when I was like looking for myself and still searching. And that was a big part of why I went into like mentorship and the stuff that I offer, because I felt like we needed like a safe, genuine place to go. Do you have any tips on dreams or sleep hygiene? I never want to go to the mall world again. So what I would do is clear your space and clear your room. If you have a memory foam mattress, get rid of that shit, because memory foam, it keeps memory, it keeps energy, you know? So, and they pretty much all mattresses are like memory foam right now. But if you can stay away from a memory foam mattress, I would set your intentions over your room before you go to sleep. I would put a crystal grid around your bed. So I usually use selenite or black tourmaline, and I use either a amethyst or a clear quartz to put in the middle, because this is like an amplifier crystal. But make a crystal grid around your bed, like all four corners, put the crystals there, and then put a crystal in the center. And then you want to kind of like close your eyes and see Like I imagine blue energy, like connecting them all. And then I speak my intention over what it is I want the crystal grid to do. Get your dream catcher as well. You know, you activate those by breathing, like blow your breath of life on them 3 times, but get a dream catcher again. Is also another good thing. Make sure your bedding is clean, because cleanliness is next to holiness or godliness, meaning like the cleaner your space is, the cleaner you are in spirit, right? And so make sure your sheets is clean, and make sure you set your intentions before you go to sleep about what you want to experience. Like me specifically, I work with my oversoul, and so I tell my oversoul what I want to do for that night. You know, and sometimes I'll remember the dream, sometimes I won't. You know, and if I can't, I'll just see something throughout my day that reminds me of the dream, and then I'm like, oh shit, this happened. You know, um, hey Taj, did you hear about Group 7? All of a sudden I'm getting tons of video about it. Yeah, I seen like 2 videos of people talking about, okay, I'm in Group 7, whatever, whatever. And so I clicked on a little thing and went to the girl page. She never explained what Group 7 was. And so I don't know. I ain't claiming that over me. Not until I know what's going on. Yeah, I tried to click on it to see what was going on with it, because I kept seeing after like response videos. Um, Yeah, because you just reminded me of my dream I had earlier. Yeah, like stuff like that'll be happening. None of them do. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about. But you ain't about to put me in the energy of confusion. Thank you so much. I just randomly found my obsidian crystal, so this is perfect timing. Yeah, obsidian is actually Earth's bone energy. Um, Earth's core energy too. Yeah, I saw that too. Shaking my head, I scrolled past that mess. You're not about to put me in the energy of confusion. I ain't with it. Oh well, so I've been putting black obsidian crystal under my pillow, not even knowing it's been helping my dreams. Yep. Okay, that's good. Also, blue tiger's eye. I don't know if you ever seen a blue tiger's eye. It's kind of got like a glare to it, or like a, I don't know, you can see it. I don't know if YouTube can see it, but um blue tiger's eye is a good one for dreaming. Amethyst is a great for dreaming. Labradorite. Ooh, labradorite is my favorite. Do I got a labradorite up here? I probably do somewhere. Labradorite eats down. It's the crystal of all crystals, if you ask me. Um, Blue's tiger eye, my favorite. Yeah, I like it for intuition and any spiritual purposes. I question everything, so I'm like, who started this shit? Yeah, it's a random white girl, because I clicked on her page to see like where it was coming from. But if you don't explain it to me in the first 5 seconds, baby, just cancel it altogether. I don't even want to know. And so I ain't stay on it too long. I have a large labradorite pendant I wear around my necklace. Yes, I love labradorite. Like, I love it. That's probably one of my favorite crystals. And energetically, when it comes to working with a crystal, labradorite and rose quartz, I could feel the energy in my body. Like, I can feel, like if I put labradorite on my crown and I go into meditation, or if I put it in my hand, I could feel it pulsing. Like, I could feel it pulsing underneath me. And I like that, because I like to know that y'all's doing the work that I'm asking y'all to do. You know, because crystals are consciousness. Crystals are memory vaults. They hold memory. And they're supposed to help you to reach the specific resonance that they hold. Trees are timeline keepers. So if you want wisdom about what's happened on Earth, trees. I feel like there's a spiritual bubble around me when I'm wearing that. Oh, good. Then keep it around. Keep it on you. But yeah, I didn't really want nothing today. I really just wanted to hop on here because I said I would. Does anybody want to read in today? I'll do some 3-card pool readings today if y'all want to. I didn't put my Cash App in the thing though. I'm tired. How do I eject? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Meditation under trees? Yes, or just even like when you're going in when you are like going into the spiritual realm, or when you're meditating, imagine yourself in like a green field with a big tree in the middle, and sit next to the tree. You'll be surprised at how good those meditations are. Okay. I'll do 3-card pulls today for $11. My Cash App is BIGTAJJJ with 3 J's. Is it? I think it's 3 J's. But if you want a 1 card pull, I can do those. I can do some 1 card pulls for free. Hold on, let me. But a 3 card pull is gonna be like past, present, future. Like, where were you at before? Where are you at right now? Where are you moving to? Okay. And I don't think they let me put. Can somebody put my Yeah, I can do a card pull. Yep. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me start there. Cool. We'll do some 1 card pulls, and if anybody want a 3 card pull, just let me know, and I can have somebody put my Cash App in the thing. Okay. And also too, if you bought a pre-order tarot deck, I'm giving it another week, and if we don't have enough people, I'm gonna start issuing refunds. And so if you do want the deck, you'll have to go ahead and get it through the manufacturer, because a lot of people purchased it, but they said they wanted to wait, but then they didn't want to wait. And so I got a lot of like refund requests already, and so I'm gonna be going back through those. Hi, Pashay. Hold on, let me go back up. What would you recommend for a first crystal? Depends on what you need. I would say rose quartz is always mama. You know, I love a rose quartz, but I also am rose energy, so that could just be me speaking. But I would say rose quartz is a love crystal for sure. But compassion, all of those things, I think that's a great one. Labradorite is good. Amethyst is good. Clear quartz is good. Actually, if you had to just pick one, clear quartz, because it can be supplemented for any crystal. You know. All right. So who said it first? Miles. Miles, this card is for you. And then I'm just going to go down, y'all. Go down the list until I'm over it. I got you too, Freedom. All right. All right. Miles, you get the Stone King in reverse, chat. Look at him. Period. Y'all can see him too. I'm just still impressed with these cards. Like, I really did my big one. Period. This is in reverse, and so this card is about over control. It's about rigidity, dominance. It's about spiritual materialism and disconnection from your intuition. So in the shadow side, the Stone Steward may become over identified with structure. You may be clinging to old systems, roles, or responsibilities out of fear, afraid that if you let go, it will all fall apart. Leadership can become burdensome, and success may feel isolating. You might also be using structure to avoid vulnerability and intuition, meaning you intellectualizing things too much. Instead of feeling things, you are bypassing the heart and only using the mind. Leaning too hard on plans, on logic, or control while forgetting the living nature of what you're building. This card warns against letting the temple become a fortress. So you need to ask yourself, is this still aligned, or am I maintaining this out of fear? And so this card really is about you understanding that whatever it is that you're building in life right now needs to be built from what you actually do want, and instead of what you don't want. So logic is usually going to operate out of fear, or a fear of what you don't want to happen. Like, I don't want to be broke again. I don't want to be this. And so it causes you to make specific decisions that you probably wouldn't make from a place when you're grounded in your heart. Okay. And so this is basically saying, don't let go of what you need to let go of right now, and make sure that you're not so logical that you miss the heart in things. Okay. So build from freedom, not for function. Okay. Build for freedom, not for function. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get to y'all. Give me 1 second. And that was for you, Miles. This is for Just Me Key. And if you want to put some confirmation after I do your card in the chat, just let me know. Can y'all hear my music or no? Is it just me? It just looks like I'm dancing for no reason. Let me know YouTube, because I got too many people in the chat on TikTok that's backed up. Okay, so for you, Key, this is just me, Key. We got the Embodied Gate, one of my favorite cards, but this is also in reverse. Oh, you can't hear any music? It's because I got it low. It's okay. Maybe it's just for me. But I also can't hear myself think when it's loud, and so maybe that's why. Oh crap, hold on. Sorry, somebody was giving me a call, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Oh, I hear the music. Okay, faintly. You have the best energy. Oh, thank you. Hold on, let me go back up. Thank you, Lisa. You the best girl. All right, so this is for Key. No, is this for Key? Yeah, this is for Key. Okay, so we get the Embodied Gate in reverse. Sorry, somebody was calling me, but I'm on live right now. So this is energy overload. This is nervous system strain, overtension, health imbalance, self-neglect, lack of boundaries, energy leakage, fear of being seen, or ungrounded knowing. Okay. So in the shadow, the Embodied Gate can bring overwhelm or burnout. The body may feel like it's too much or begin to experience energetic overload from taking on too many roles, spaces, or frequencies. You may feel like a portal that never closes, like you're always on, always sensing, always serving. This can lead to nervous system dysregulation, sleep issues, or even physical dis-ease in the body. There may also be a fear of what your embodiment triggers in other people, jealousy, projection, confusion. So you may shrink yourself, dim, or attempt to numb out your sensitivity. But the gate was never meant to stay wide open. Even flame has to rest. Okay. So the embodiment gate reveals the struggle to live what you know. You may retreat to theory or spiritual concepts, avoiding the messier reality of embodiment. You may feel split, spiritually awake, but emotionally or physically untethered. It's not that you're not wise, it's that your wisdom needs a body to move through, which means there's an integration issue here. This card asks, can you trust your vessel enough to carry the truth? So the advice is, you are a portal. You are not a power outlet. Seal your field with love, meaning you need better energetic boundaries, okay? Because your energy is leaking, because you're giving away too much of your energy. And also, don't abandon your physical needs in pursuit of the divine, meaning you need to learn how to prioritize yourself as much as you prioritize other people. And this was for Key. Just me, Key. I love your videos and content. Oh, thank you, girl. I am my mother's keeper, or boy. You actually look like, oh no, I can't see. I think I see somebody yachty in a circle. Sounds about right. Okay, cool. All right, let me go back up. Where is we at? Okay. Oop, shit. You are welcome, Primordial Billionaire. I love getting on here. Okay, so this one is for Fee. Fee, you still on? Give me a double tap if you on. Let me see a heart or something. I think it's Fee, Effie. Okay, good. All right. This one's for you, love. Oh, shit. You got two cards that came out. So we get the distortion mask first, but it's in reverse. This is a major card, okay? The last card that I did was also a major card. This is also a major card, so it has to do with major life events, okay? So this ain't little energy, this big energy. This is about spiritual bypassing, false light entanglement, projections, imposter syndrome, soul mimicry, or fear of being seen. So in the shadow side, the distortion mask reflects a painful but necessary truth. We've mistaken illusion for clarity. You may be following a path, a person, or a pattern that once felt true, but now drains your essence. There could be energetic invasions like cords, contracts, or presences that subtly redirect your energy or your belief systems. This card can also speak of internal distortion, the part of you that performs light while suppressing truth, which means you might be still performing. Okay. You may be bypassing uncomfortable feelings, spiritualizing avoidance, or clinging to teachings that keep you from your actual knowing. In this phase, the fear of being wrong often keeps one tethered to falseness. When distorted, this energy can manifest as spiritual bypassing, performance, or projection. You may feel like a fraud or find yourself overly identifying with roles, titles, or belief systems. The fear of being seen as flawed, as vulnerable, as real may lead to self-abandonment. This card often arises during ego death or oversoul reclamation. It's not a failure at all. It's a sacred turning. Okay. The medicine is not shame. It is discernment born through embodiment. You must feel your truth in your bones, not in your mind. Okay. And so this card is really telling you is that when you stop performing light, the real light can finally find you. And I think what I get when I get this card, and it's specifically talking about spiritual bypassing, is that sometimes we think we wear spirituality like a costume. We think that it means we got to go get copper jewelry and we got to wear unk and we got to change our language and we got to start saying understand instead of understand. But we haven't really embodied the spirituality that we talking about, right? And so what this is saying is you don't need to perform the light. You are the light. You know, be the light. Stop wearing the mask. Let people see you in your realness. Let people see you in your messiness. Okay. And then also don't internalize the roles other people place onto you. Other people's projections or other people's truth of you does not have to be your truth of you, you know? And so, I think sometimes when we don't know who we are, other people can tell us who we are. And so this card is really urging you to feel your truth in your bones and go with that. Okay. That was for Fee. I'm a male. Okay. Okay. I know mother's keeper, you know, I just seen mother and I thought you was mother. Thank you. Have work to do. Okay, good. That was for Fee. You're welcome. Okay. You're welcome, Fee. Hold on. Let me do somebody from YouTube real quick. Let's do Laura. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Freedom. Sorry, Freedom. I missed you, my love. Okay, so let's do Freedom real quick. She's getting a 3-card pull. Freedom, you still with me, my love? On YouTube. My YouTube girly. This is for Freedom. Okay, I got you, Sarah. Okay. Yes. Give me 1 second. The first gift. Ooh. Okay. We got some repeating energy here, Freedom. This will be on YouTube too, guys. So if you want to go back and listen to what I said, you absolutely can do that. Okay. So this one is for Freedom. Freedom. The first card that I get for you is the 3 of Waters. This is about community. Okay. This is a card of community. And so when you get this card upright, this is about your soul family. This is about emotional reunion. It's about sacred celebration, the joy of belonging to a community or belonging to something. Remembrance through community as well, meaning like you start to remember yourself the more that you come across people that remind you of who you are, because what we like in other people is typically what we love in ourselves. Okay. Heart resonance and ceremonial joy. And so the 3 of Waters is a ceremonial return to togetherness. It marks the joy of reunion when kindred souls come together, not for survival, but for celebration. You may find yourself entering a sacred circle, a creative collaboration, a spiritual gathering, or a joyful friendship that feels like home. In this card, we witness the emotional relief of being known. You no longer have to translate your frequency. There's laughter, tenderness, and shared memory. This is not ordinary community. It's the soul family drawn together by the river of remembrance. You are invited to honor joy as ceremony and to trust that you don't have to walk your path in isolation. Let others witness you blooming. Let joy be shared. And the lesson here is joy deepens when you are witnessed. And so sometimes when I get this card, what you actually want is genuine connection, but you might have started pulling yourself into isolation because there might have been a point in time where you actually hurt by your community or hurt by the people around you. And I think that a lot of times we confuse sovereignty for separation, meaning we go into separation and it's like, oh, I'm just protecting my peace, but that's really spiritual bypassing, because you should be able to stand in your integrity regardless of who's in the room, and so this card is basically telling you you need to allow yourself to be witnessed by other people, because we came here to grow, evolve, and change together. Okay. The card that I get right now for you is the Ace of Waters, which this is all water energy, by the way. And so this is very heavy emotional energy. And you get this in the shadow side, which is emotional confusion. It's about over attachment, undefined longing, false romanticism, and overwhelm. And so in the shadow side, the soul stirring can feel like drowning and longing. Okay. This coming after this card of you really, really wanting to belong to a community, you wanting to find your soul family. This is huge after that card. Okay. So you may feel like you're drowning in belonging. I'm sorry, in longing. You may sense something ancient awakening in you, but you don't know what it wants from you. There can be a tendency to over attach to the first person, the first idea, or a memory that triggers this feeling, believing that they are the answer. This card in shadow often reflects a state of emotional fog. You may be feeling deeply, but you may not have the tools to discern where it's leading you. You might romanticize the past, idealize potential partners, or become overwhelmed by a soul ache that seems to have no anchor. The advice here is longing is not a direction, it is a signal to turn inwards. And so what I want to tell you about this card, Freedom, is that I experienced this for quite some time, because I was transmuting longing for the collective, right? And so what was happening to me during this time is when I get into this stage where I need emotional connection with other people, I start thinking about the last time that I felt that. Okay. And this is what I mean. It is not a direction. It is a signal for you to turn inwards, because your needs are not being met. But a lot of times what we do is instead say, when is the last time I felt connected? And whoever was that person, we tend to go back. We tend to send that text message. We tend to, walk them down. What this card is basically saying is that whatever it is that your unmet need is, it's a lot deeper than anybody that you've experienced in this experience. And so if you're searching for belonging and you find yourself in isolation, or you want community and you're not acknowledging that you want community, it's time for you to turn inwards and figure out how can you re-enter space to where you trust yourself in that space, and you also trust other people. But also, how can you make sure that you're moving from a place of what you actually do want and what you don't want, opposed to what you don't want. Okay. The last card that we get is the Distortion Mask in reverse. Okay. And that's the one that we just did, but this is again a major thing. So I'm just going to repeat it for you. Okay. This card in shadow is about spiritual bypassing. It's about false light entanglement projections, imposter syndrome, fear of being seen. Okay. So in the shadow, the distortion mask reflects a painful but necessary truth. We've mistaken illusion for clarity. Are you in a relationship right now, Freedom? Are you dealing with somebody, or did you just rekindle something? While I wait for you to respond, I'm gonna continue on. Um, you may be following a path, a person, or a pattern that once felt true, but now drains your essence. There could be energetic invasion, cords, contracts, or presences that subtly redirect your energy or belief. This card can also speak of internal distortion, the parts of you that perform light while suppressing truth. I think there's a truth or something you need to admit to yourself here. You may be bypassing uncomfortable feelings, spiritualizing avoidance, or clinging to teachings that keep you from your actual knowing. In this phase, the fear of being wrong often keeps one tethered to falseness. When distorted, this energy can manifest as spiritual bypassing, performance, or projection. You may feel like a fraud or find yourself overly identifying with roles, titles, or belief systems. The fear of being seen as flawed, as vulnerable, as real may lead to self-abandonment. Um, and I think a lot of times we will abandon ourselves to be in community with other people. This card often arises during ego death or oversoul reclamation. It's not a failure, it's a sacred turning. The medicine is not shame, it is discernment born through embodiment. You might feel your truth. You must feel your truth in your bones and not in your mind. I don't want to be in your business, Freedom. But are you in a relationship, or are you in a situation where you know you're supposed to leave? Or you feel differently, or are you longing for that? It's my first time buying coins on TikTok, LOL, just so I could send you some gifts, period. Thank you, Allie. I don't even know what that means, but I appreciate you. I'm sure I'll find out once I hop off live. Hey, Banks. Okay, so while we wait for Freedom to respond, I will see who's next. Um, Avatar Zen. You still on, girly? Okay. Avatar Zen, you still here, girl? Oh, okay, I see you. All right. This is for you. This one's for you. This one's for you. Hold on. Why? Why? Sorry. We not in the rap mood. Why do you even got that bullshit on right now? Okay. Okay, you get the Six of Waters, the soul memory, but this is coming out in reverse. Okay. And so we have emotional energy here for sure. Look how cute he is. Isn't he the cutest? Cutest little boy. And you see his little ancestor in the back right there? Y'all see the details. Y'all need to see the details. Do you see that ancestor? Okay. This is in upside down. This is about nostalgia trap, escapism, romanticizing the past, a fear of growing up or clinging to an identity, or emotional regression. Okay. In the shadow side, the soul memory becomes a fantasy loop, recently leaving one. Okay. That makes sense. You're making the right choice, babe. From what I'm seeing from the cards, it feels like whatever it is, you might have outgrown that space, and that's okay. It actually feels like it's a sacred turn, and it feels like it's pushing you towards oversoul reclamation. It's trying to help you to embody discernment. And so whatever you experienced in that previous relationship that you're leaving was meant to show you how to show up better for yourself. Okay. Sorry, Avatar Zen. I'm back to you. The soul memory becomes a fantasy loop. You may become stuck in the comfort of who you once were, longing for the past to return, or idealizing a time that never truly existed, meaning that you building up fantasies in your head. And the way that I see this, y'all, is like, you know how like you watch Disney Channel or you watch a movie. And let me not say Disney Channel because he hated his mama, and so he was always killing off the mamas. But say you watching a TV show like The Fosters or something like that, and you see these good parents and how these parents show up for their kids and they're emotionally available and all this. We decide in our head that that's what we're actually supposed to be getting. And so we create this version of our mom that has never existed ever in the reality of the world. And then because we keep trying to grade her according to this fake mom that we have in our head, we get stuck in a disappointment loop because she's never been that person, right? And so what I think this card about like fantasizing or idealizing time, idealizing people, or just a part of your life, like for instance, say you were in a relationship and it was the person who treated you the best, but he still treated you like shit. Sometimes when we get out of that situation, we idealize or romanticize that situation like it was a good situation, but the whole time he wasn't shit either. So like this card is kind of like that type of energy. Okay. So there may be resistance to the present or avoidance of growth. This card can also point to emotional regression, falling into old patterns or roles because they feel safe, even when they're no longer aligned. Sometimes the past is beautiful, but it's not meant to be relived. It's meant to be integrated. Okay. So the advice here is honor the past, but don't try to live it again. Don't try to live there. Okay. And so, honor the versions of yourself that you were. Love on the versions of yourself that you were. But if it was time for you to move on, move on. One thing about endings is that if an ending is happening, a beginning is also happening. And I think when we're in a place of unknown, we don't realize that we're at the precipice of every possibility available to us. And so you never know what's out there. If you got this one and it was better, you can get another that was better. I felt like I was betraying myself, so I made the decision to let go. Okay, that makes perfect sense, Freedom. That makes perfect sense. I'm proud of you. I think that's a really, really hard thing to do, especially when you care about somebody or when you love someone. But if somebody is not able to give you back what you're pouring into them, then that's a person who's not able to receive love. And eventually, it becomes a situation where you start to believe that you're the one that's unlovable, when in all reality, they're not able to meet you where you are. And so go where you received. Go to somebody who has the capacity to hold you in your fullness, because that's what you deserve. You know, that's what you deserve. Okay. I heard that about the trees, period. All right, hold on. Let me grab somebody from YouTube. And so, Laura, did I do you already? You still here, Laura? Why do they why they want me to listen to Drake so bad? Damn. Laura, you still here with me, my love? Okay, I didn't. Okay, got you. I'm still going, y'all. Avatar Zen, did that make sense for you, babe? Let me go to the bottom because I ain't even looking at the damn. You welcome. Okay, good. All right, this is for my girl Laura. What we got for Laura? Okay. Laura, I think this is always the case for you, girl. And spirit just gonna stay on your neck about it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's not funny, but it's funny because I feel like it always comes like this is always going to be the case. Every conversation we have, girl. This is the card of Sacred Exchange, but it's in reverse. Okay. The shadow side, this is overgiving. This is undervaluing the self, martyrdom, guilt in receiving, blocked abundance, or spiritual bypassing through service. Okay. Because we can't spiritual bypass through service to other people. Right. So in the shadow side, this card points to distorted giving, where generosity becomes depletion or receiving feels shameful. You may be giving too much without recognition or compensation, or refusing to accept help out of pride, guilt, or unworthiness. This shadow can also appear in spiritual work, offering your soul gifts freely while feeling uncomfortable, naming your needs, or charging for your time. Okay, charging for your time. I don't know why that's repeated in my head, charging for your time. You may fear that asking for support devalues your sacredness, but the truth is all sacred things are resourced. Water is sacred and it flows. The Six of Stone in shadow asks, what belief ties your worth to how little you need? Wait a minute, bitch. That kind of felt, I didn't even realize that I'd put that in there. I just realized that, okay, anyways. What belief ties your worth to how little you need? What old patterns resist the flow? Okay, the advice here is your worth is not proven by how little you receive. First of all, I make this deck. What was it, a couple months ago? And I just realized that I tied my worth to how little I need because I was just trying to stay out of people's way. And so I've been living off a little for a long time. Oh, my ear is hurting. I didn't even know I put that in the cards, child. Anyways, that's for you, Laura. Let me go back up. Okay, hold on. So that's Avatar Thin. Thank you, Chewy. Thank you, Laura, for pulling it out. Miles, did you say you wanted a 3 card? I don't think I've seen anything else come through on Cash App. Hold on, let me make sure. The 3 card pools are 11, and my Cash App is BIGTAJJJ. Lisa and Chewy put it in the chat. You're welcome, Freedom. Wait, Pasha, what you waiting for? Oh, for a card. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go in order. All right. So next is R Diva. Are you still here, R Diva? I think that relates a lot to working in the school and not asking for much. Thank you for letting me know that the work is still in progress. Okay, good. That makes sense because I got hung up on not charging for your services or not. Like it felt like it was related to work or something. All right, R Diva, is you here? Yes. Okay, let's get one for you. What you laughing at? Hey, you pressed. Diamonds, another one on mine can get you. All right. This is for our diva. Okay, we got the stone holder. Can y'all see outside of this damn light? Okay, this is the Knight of Stone. Rihanna been playing with us for years. That hoe ain't never dropping the album again. That man won't get from up top of her. She think we ain't hip to the game. Girl, that reggae album ain't coming out. All right. This is about stagnation. Hey, Hydra. This is about stagnation. It's about overcautiousness, fear of movement, being stuck in planning, a fear of failure, and a resistance to change. Okay. So in the shadow, the Knight of Stone can become immobile. Okay. Paralyzed by the fear of doing it wrong or stepping before everything is perfect. Okay. I think a lot of times because we live in a society that conditions us towards perfectionism, that we get hung up in the details and we try to make the perfect step, which can cause us not to make a step at all. It can cause stagnation. Right. And so this is like, stop worrying so much about the step that you're taking, because sometimes clarity comes when you're moving. Just choose whatever you think is going to make you feel the best. You may be overly focused on structure, plan, and preparation, avoiding the sacred risk that all creation requires. This card can also indicate being stuck in routine where safety has replaced growth. Alternatively, you may be ignoring your deeper calling because it feels too unrealistic or impractical. I don't know why I feel like that's it. You may be ignoring your deeper calling because it feels too unrealistic or impractical, but truth does not wait for comfort. It asks for trust. The Knight in shadow whispers, are you building or are you avoiding? And the advice is planning is sacred, but not if it keeps you from moving. So tonight I'm doing free 1-card pulls, Hydra, and I'm doing 3-card pulls for $11. Can you give me some clarity on that, Ardiva? Um, which one do you think it is? Is it the not doing what you feel like your calling is because it feels unrealistic or impractical, like not taking the risk? Because for some reason this feels like Capricorn energy. What I have gotten into. Hey, eat more plants. It always helps me. Okay, let's see who next. Oh, let me go to YouTube real quick. Sarah, you ready, Sarah? I'm not forgetting. I won't forget about you, love. I think that's who was next. Sarah, are you still there? How do I book? So if you want a 1-card pool, it's free. If you want a 3-card pool, it's $11. And my Cash App is BIGTAJJ. Send in the money now, period. Yes, it feels unrealistic. Okay, got you. What this is telling you is break out of your shell, baby. You got to trust yourself and trusting your capabilities. This is something that I've been working with, and I'm saying it's easier said than done. Let me say that, friend, because I've been working on this for the last couple of months, and it's so hard. And for me, it's specifically trusting people, not even trusting in my capabilities, because I've been suffering from inadequacy for a long time. I've been working on that for the last couple of years. But trusting people are spooky. Spooky. Okay, the last time I trusted the person, they did me dirty. Actually, every time I've trusted a person, so I think trust is really, really hard, but trust is the currency of the divine. That's how you get stuff done without effort, is trust. We think we got effort equals abundance. That's not true. You just need to trust, because you're the one giving permission to the universe, and the universe isn't responding to you, it's mirroring you, right? And so if you are in a state of trust, you're in a state of openness. And when you're in a state of openness and willingness is the word, every possibility is available to you. You become magnetic. So I know it's hard, but you got to just take the risk. Jump off the porch, both feet. So sadly. All right, Sarah, we looking at you, Sarah. What we got for Sarah? You got my energy, girl. I think a lot of us suffer from this. Okay, so we got the Queen of Stone in reverse. Look at her. Such a beauty. Such a beauty. This card in reverse, though, is again a card of depletion, a card of overgiving, a card of emotional exhaustion, neglecting yourself, unbalanced caretaking, and scarcity and self-worth. Okay. In the shadow, the Queen of Stone may become a sacred well gone dry. You may be pouring endlessly into other people, into clients, into family, into community without remembering to replenish yourself. You might believe that to be worthy, you must be endlessly available or prove your value through constant doing. There may also be a discomfort in receiving an old program that whispers you must earn your rest or justify your needs. This card asks, what would change if you allowed yourself to be held? Okay. Sometimes the queen forgets she is not just the hearth, she is also the flame. And so the advice here is your presence is medicine, but you are also allowed to need medicine too. Okay. So boundaries. This is what I do. If they don't ask, I don't offer. I don't care how sad the story is. If you don't explicitly ask for my help, I do not offer. Why? Because that keeps me in alignment. Okay. Not only that, if I'm not in a state of abundance, I cannot properly support or nurture someone else. Okay. Because self-love is loving yourself in so much abundance that you have all this overflow that you can pour into other people. But if you're not in a place of abundance, then you're just depleting yourself to try to help somebody else. And what you subconsciously tell yourself is that your comfort and well-being is not as important as the other person. Okay. And so it's really important you learn how to prioritize yourself as much as you prioritize other people. And if they don't ask, you don't offer. If they do ask, tell them you got to think about it. Go home, feel into it, see if it's something you actually want to do, and only do things that you're passionate about. Don't say I never told you nothing. Okay. Thank you, Chewy. Thank you. I've been in a state of confusion. Yeah. So confusion is actually a great space to be in because confusion is where change happens, right? Confusion is actually you entering into the liminal space. And that is until the old self dies, the new self cannot fully form. That's what confusion is. You have two versions of you fighting and you're sitting on the fence. And so until you decide, you're going to be in a state of confusion. Until you take the risk, until you fully commit, you're going to be in a state of confusion. Oh, good. Eat more plants. I love that you love that. That's on point for real. Thank you for this. You are welcome, my love. I created this. This ain't nothing but my energy in this reality. So I'm glad. Makes sense. Yes. Yes, I don't overextend myself anymore. Me either, girl. I used to be everything to everybody. Now I'm barely nothing. I'm barely nothing. If you could get me on the phone, baby, you is a lucky person. Cause I just don't be doing it no more. All right. So Allie, are you still here? Allie Dittman. Where you at, girl? I seen you in here a couple times. Real becoming no one for real, for real. Yes. Hi, Allie. Let's see what we got for you, Allie. Y'all, I'm smiling because I be having random shit on my playlist. Like I'm just playing songs and letting them kind of, and Star. If y'all don't have the Star album, like from the TV show Star, what are you doing with your life? It's nothing but banger after banger after banger. And so one of the songs came on from Star, but the other day I was working out and a Cheetah Girls song came on, and I said, "What's going on here, girl?" My playlist be all over the place. Okay, this is for Allie. What do we got for Allie? I don't know why I feel like I missed your card, Allie. Hold on one second. Let's go. Let me reshuffle real quick. They need to bring it back. They said they was doing like a finale, but I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. Towards the end, it kind of got weird. When they start breaking out into song, like had Quincy get about that wheelchair, I was high as hell. I had to go back and watch it when I was high because I said, bitch, I know my eyes is deceiving me. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. I literally thought I was imagining it. Like I literally thought I was imagining it. Okay. Okay. This is for Miss Allie. So we got the guarded flame, but we got it in reverse. Okay. The guarded flame. Ooh, my back is hurting. In the shadow side, this card is about hoarding. It's about a fear of loss, a lack mindset, energetic stinginess, mistrust, overprotection, or isolation. Okay. In the shadow, the fourth stone becomes a locked vault. You may be clinging too tightly to time, to energy, to money, or attention. Afraid there won't be enough if you open your hand. This card reflects a mistrust in abundance, often rooted in past scarcity or betrayal. You might also be holding your gifts too closely, afraid to share them in case they're misunderstood by the people, they're stolen or undervalued. While it's wise to move with discernment, the guarded flame can become a prison when built from fear. This card in shadow invites a deep breath, a softening, a remembering that true security doesn't come from withholding, it comes from alignment. Okay, so the advice here is you're not safe because you hide. You are safe because you trust. And again, this is another card of trust. Okay, I think sometimes we think scarcity. Hi, Pookie. Hi. We think scarcity has only to do with money, but scarcity goes beyond money. Money is the physical representation of energy exchange, but if you're not getting energy in, it's because you probably have a problem with receiving. You might be hyper independent. You might think you need to do it all by yourself because you've always had to, or you're afraid that people are going to disappoint you, or you feel like you have to earn reward, right? You have to earn in order for you to receive. And so what this card is really saying is that you need to learn how to trust in your you need to learn how to trust and how to get into alignment and allow the law of alignment to show you how the universe shows up for you. I'm the worst gift receiver. Yeah. Otis Redding is crazy. But yeah, and I think a lot of us kind of struggle with receiving because we think that people haven't showed up for us, and we're used to always giving but not receiving anything in return. And so just so we don't put that pressure on you, we'll just suffer alone, but it robs us of genuine connection, right? It robs us of, and not only that, it also robs us of our ability to receive from the universe. We're constantly always fighting, we're constantly always swimming upstream. And so you have to realize that for you to receive, you don't have to earn it. It does not take effort. It takes alignment. And so you need to match the resonance of what it is that you want to receive, but you can't do that if you're moving out of fear. And so this is telling you to control what you can control. And the only thing you really can control is you. You got to learn how to go with the flow a little bit. I can't get into my Cash App. Do you take Zelle? I do. My Zelle is TAJAMOORE16@gmail. What's a good crystal for openness or for trust? What's a good crystal for trust? I don't know. Let me look in my little crystal vault. 1 second. I got some shit for you. Because y'all know I'm a teacher and I always got shit. Okay. So that would be gate 2. Trust in timing. So you would benefit from moonstone, which is divine receptivity. So a moonstone is divine receptivity. It helps you to receive. Rose quartz is inner devotion. And then gold sheen obsidian. That's not actually, no, you don't need that one. But you do moonstone. Moonstone is divine receptivity. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's another crystal that has to do with trust in here. I would say carnelian helps you with confidence. Because there's also a fear of getting it wrong there. No, I would say moonstone. Get you a moonstone, girl. I have been on my awakening journey for 2 years and I'm going to buy my first crystal. Oh, good. Make sure you get a raw one. Don't get a rolled one. Like these ones that are rolled, they don't feel the same energetically. Like you need a raw, or like a raw like this, you know, where you get the actual rock, or like that's what I suggest. Um, sorry, eat plants. What's your question? I have had the hardest time trusting my intuition. Like, am I just gaslighting myself? I think trusting your intuition is hard, especially if you have had your intuition. Like, if you were taught that you didn't have a voice in your home, like if you don't have a voice in your home and you're supposed to just listen to what the adults say, I think that breaks your intuition with yourself or your trust with yourself, but also church trauma as well because they tell you don't question God, just go with it, And so you getting an intuition about something, they telling you that that's not important. You need to trust something outside of yourself. The same with your parents. And so if you didn't have a voice, sometimes it can be really hard to trust yourself because you were taught and conditioned not to. And so a lot of times you just gaslight yourself like your parents did. Yeah, and so it how you build trust with yourself is you start showing up for yourself. You stop breaking promises to yourself. If you say that you're gonna do something, you do it. If somebody needs your help and it's gonna require you to get out of a routine that you're already in, like for instance, say you work out in the morning times or whatever, and you work out every single day, and somebody say, "Well, I want to join you, but I can't go until 1 o'clock." Don't you change your schedule to try to fit them in? You got to continuously prioritize what it is that you need because that's how you show up for yourself. And then your higher self will start guiding you again. It's about self-love and it's about seeing the beauty in your experiences. That's how you reestablish the trust. You're welcome, my love. Anytime. I got you. Um, I'm having the hardest time trusting them. Yeah, okay. All right, Hydra. Oh, I'm just glad that ain't going my motherfucking coffee. Cause child, Hydra, I don't know what the cards almost jumped out my hands, girl. Yes, I was doing that and felt awesome, then got in a slump. It's okay, just get back to it. Just get back on the bike when you remember it. That's on point for real. Thank you. You are welcome, Sarah. You so dramatic. Y'all, my cat has been being dramatic all day. Let me tell y'all what she did earlier. So, and I'm not hip to cat festivities because this is my first cat. But so, anyways, let me not even go there. But earlier she kept whining for me to give her a snack, and I've been giving her a snack every day, and I've been giving her like wet food every day because I feel like you're supposed to give them more wet food than you do dry food because otherwise they stomach, turns from all of the shit that's in the dry food, especially if it's corn based, right? And so today I didn't give her none because girl, you've been eating like a queen up in this bitch. Like it's okay if you go one day without getting all of that. So she like begging me for a treat. I give her some catnip and what she wanted was a lickable, like one of those lickable, and they fucking insane about them lickables. But last time she was acting like she didn't like it. So I was like, okay, whatever. Must have been a bad batch or something. Today I have like this little bowl for her and it's got like it's pink and it's got like a little cat head in the middle, but it's like something where you can take something liquid, right? She is in the bowl, like putting her paw in the bowl, like where's it at, and licking the bowl, and then looking up at me, and then putting her paw in the bowl. I said, "Girl, please give it a rest. Give it a rest." She is hilarious though. Like I feel like her personality is starting to come out more and more. She be cracking me up, child. All right, Hydra. No, no. We could do this. Okay, Hydra. Let's see what we got for you, girl. I promise y'all I'm working my way up the list. I'm just not in no type of rush today. So, and I'll do as many as I could do. I got you, Shay. I'm going to get you next. Wait, where you at, Shay? Yeah, you was after Sarah. Yeah, so I'll get you after Hydra. I'm trying to bounce in between the two. Oh, I'm sorry. Is my name on the one free pull list? I'm going down, like I'm going in order, like down. So it's on the list because the list is in the chat. So I'm going down. But if you want a 3-card pull, my Zelle is TAJAMORE16@gmail.com. If you get a 3-card pull, of course, since you paid out, you skip the line. 33 on the clock. Confirmation. All right. Kitties are highly intelligent spiritual beings. Love them. They are their guardians. Okay, so some clarity. Hydra. Everybody say congratulations to Hydra. Hydra just got married. Period. Love that. She got her baby boy. She got her hubby. Congrats to our girl Hydra. I love cats. Yeah, see, this is my first cat because I was a dog person. All right, what energy do she need to move towards? She said, "Thank y'all." Those of y'all on YouTube who can't see TikTok. Ooh. Okay, baby. So we actually got four cards that came out for you, Hydra. All right. So the first card that I got that was in the past thing that just happened was the card of clarity. And this is swift truth. This is about clear expression, message in motion, intellectual boldness. Clarity is action and sacred disruption. And so the Knight of Breath is the messenger of movement. When this card appears, something must be spoken. It must be declared. It must be clarified or moved on, or it was moved on from too quickly. Okay. This is the card of, this is the part of you that does not hesitate once the truth is known. You feel the spark of insight and act with decisiveness. This can come in the form of conversation, a sudden shift in beliefs, or a bold step that clears stagnant air. The breath holder does not whisper, they carry truth. This knight cuts through confusion, not out of ego, but devotion. They're not afraid to disrupt the status quo if it means realignment. However, their challenge is balance. Clarity without cruelty, speed without burnout. Okay. So the lesson here is truth in motion does not need to shout, but it does need to move. Okay. And so what this, okay, I got you. Eat my plant or eat more plants. So what this card really is about, it's about you carrying this frequency of truth, and you carrying this frequency of disruption, right? And so people who have this energy usually are people who are very upfront, okay? People who say what the fuck needs to be said, right? But I think sometimes this energy is very fast moving because it's air energy, and air energy is just fast, right? And so you might move quicker than most people. You might get impatient with other people when they don't move at your speed, or they don't do things at how you want them to do things. But also within that is this when you do speak up about something, needing bridging. When other people's energy need bridging, meaning that they don't process things as quickly as you, is what I'm saying, or is what Spirit hopped in to say. But also the other thing is, like, when you do say what you need to say, you need to make sure you're speaking from your heart and not from your wounds. You need to make sure you're speaking your clarity without cruelty. Because I think sometimes we confuse realness as, and we confuse cruelty for realness. Like, I'm just being real, but I mean, you can still say things with compassion. It's kind of what this card is about. Okay. And so that's the first card, cutting through confusion. And this card is in the past position. So this could have been something that you're working on or something that you're moving out of. Okay. Next, we get the stone holder. Again, we get a Knight's card, which is moving energy. So there's a lot of energy moving in your life right now. But this is in reverse. And so this is the card of the fear of movement, getting stuck in planning, a fear of failure, resistance to change, that type of energy, stagnation, being overly cautious. Okay. In the shadow, the Knight of Stone can become immobile, paralyzed by the fear of doing it wrong or stepping before everything is perfect. You may be overly focused on structure, plan, and preparation, avoiding the sacred risk that all creation requires. This card can also indicate being stuck in routine where safety has replaced growth. Alternatively, you may be ignoring your deeper calling because it feels too unrealistic or impractical. But truth does not wait for comfort, it asks for trust. Okay. The night shadow whispers, are you building or are you avoiding? And the advice here is planning is sacred, but not if it keeps you from moving. Okay. I don't know why there's a perfectionistic energy coming through with this. Okay. Next, I do get the card of sacred lack, but please remember that sacred lack doesn't always just mean money. Um, this is the victim mindset, the rejection wounds, over identification with struggle, martyrdom, unworthiness, and a fear of abundance. Okay. So in the shadow, the Five of Stone becomes a cycle of self-abandonment. You may have learned to expect lack even when abundance is available to you. So the way that you're looking at things, or the way that you have been looking at things, there has to be a change. Okay. Perhaps rejection has etched itself into your identity, or you've come to believe that being unsupported is proof of your purpose. This card may also point to emotional or energetic exile, feeling left out, undervalued, or unseen. In these moments, it's easy to internalize the external or decide that the world's silence means you are unworthy. This is the great distortion here. Okay. The truth is, your worth was never dependent on who chose you. Okay. You were already chosen. And so the shadow of the sacred lack dissolves the moment that you claim yourself again. And so this advice here is, don't build a home from what was never meant to hold you. Okay. And so when I think about sacred lack too, I think sometimes when people haven't showed up for you in the way that you show up for them, we take that on as like, we internalize that as, okay, I need to be hyper independent, I need to do it all myself, I need to figure it out. And we think we wear that as a badge, like, I'm a person who did it all by myself. But then it puts us in this energy of not being able to receive, not being able to have the energy that we sending out return to us, because we closed ourselves off from receiving, because we decided we're going to do it all by ourselves. We came here to help each other grow and learn together, meaning like we need each other whether we want to acknowledge it or not. It's not about shutting yourself off completely. It's about going where you're received. It's about getting a community of people around you who support you, and depending on that community, instead of asking the people that you used to ask and who ain't never showed up for you a day in your motherfucking life, you need to ask the people who actually show up for you. And so I think sometimes sacred lack, you expect that people are going to do you wrong, or you expect that people are not going to have the ability to show up in the capacity that you need them to. And so you don't even ask, or you don't even consider that there are other options. In turn, you abandon yourself in that process. Okay. Because you deserve to receive, you deserve to be supported, you deserve to get back all that you've poured into other people. Another thing that I want to say too is that I struggle with this because I did have a little bit of a fear of abundance, meaning that I was always the moment that I get money, I get afraid that I'm going to lose it, right? That's that fear of abundance. You get the money, but then you get afraid that you're going to lose it. And so you start making decisions out of fear, and then you close yourself off again. And so I just want to caution you against that as well. And then the last card, because you have 4 cards come out, is the oversoul and the 9 of waters and overflowing. And I just want to be clear, Hydra, all of these things are temporary things, meaning that this is not a major event that's going to last forever. It's just temporary energy that you're in right now that you need to navigate a little bit better. Okay. The last card is I knew that was Luther. Couldn't have been nobody else. What's this? The 9 of waters. Okay. This is about overflow, but it's in reverse again, which is overindulgence, spiritual bypassing, false joy, chasing pleasure, ignoring your deeper wounds, or emotional avoidance. So in the shadow, the overflow becomes a mask of joy, smiling while pain brews beneath. You may use pleasure, distraction, or spiritual talk to avoid deeper emotional healing. There can also be a sense of chasing the feeling of abundance without embodying the choices that actually lead to it. Okay, so this is a little bit about integration. meaning that I think a lot of times we don't make choices that are actually aligned with what we say that we want. Okay. And so this card is kind of pointing that out. Okay. There's a difference between being full and being bloated. One is in resonance, the other is escape. This card asks, are you truly fulfilled, or are you just refusing to feel what still wants to be seen? And the advice here is that joy that hides pain is not overflow, it's overflow with a leak. And so this card is telling you that you might be leaking energy somewhere because you might still be pretending or not fully acknowledging that you have needs that are going unmet right now. Okay. How do you feel about that, Hydra? Let me see, because you said something. Yes, I know it's what I'm working on actively. Okay, good. What did you say before that? Yes, I took a long pause for my business. I've been trying to find my way back. Okay, you're just trying to get back on the horse. It's okay. You've had a lot going on lately. Um, and so I get that. I hope that gives you some type of understanding. While I definitely felt like there was a leak. Yeah, and I think it's so easy for us to start leaking energy, because when you start leaking energy, it just means that in a certain area you might be out of alignment. Like I said, I was leaking energy the last 2 weeks. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to rest this week because I need to figure it out. And I didn't figure it out to the end of the week that it was because the business that I built was still built in this savior complex, and that I need to shift into something that is more in alignment with what I actually came here to do, instead of me still trying to save everybody, you know. And so my energy was leaking and I was burning out, and I was like, how the fuck am I burning out? I love what I do. But you can still have unneed mets underneath the layers of what you think you want, you know. And so just relook at it. And I had to sit in stillness for a whole fucking week, and I was uncomfortable, girl. And I just kept getting high. Like, spirit, tell me something, you know? And so I figured it out though. Yeah, I've been figuring out what works for me. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Um, this is for Shay. No. Who said don't forget about me? Yeah, this is for Shay. Okay, we get the Eight of Waters, the depart, but we get it in reverse. Okay, the Eight of Waters, departure in reverse. In the shadow, this means avoidance. It means emotional shutdown. It means guilt, fear of grief, delayed endings, soul numbing, or pretending all is well. Okay, in the shadow, the departure becomes a ghost walk. You may physically leave, but carry the emotional burdens with you. Or you may refuse to leave at all, clinging to the version of connection, identity, or comfort that no longer fits. You may avoid grieving altogether, pretending things are fine while quietly dying inside. This card shows up when you're staying out of habit, fear, or misplaced guilt. But to postpone departure is to prolong disconnection from yourself and from your path. And the advice of this card is leaving is not betrayal, it is an act of devotion to your own truth. Okay, so I don't know if you're getting out of a relationship or if you're struggling to leave a job, or what it is, but it feels like there's something that you need to walk away from, Shay. Um, it's like clues. Hello. Yeah, I've been figuring out what works for me. It's like clues. Thank you. You're welcome, my baby. And if you need help, you know where to reach me. Call me, beat me. Nah. Wow, that makes sense. Wow, that resonates. Okay, good. I'm glad that other people in the chat are resonating with that. Need truth and support for overcoming so much. Yeah. When will you have another live? Would love to have a reading, but I need to go back to work. Oh, I'm on live. I'm on live randomly. It's kind of like whenever I feel the urge. But if you're on my Patreon, I have like a free chat on Patreon. I usually post whenever I get on live. I post it in that free chat just so you guys can have it, or you can put on the reminder. But some people say that the reminder don't work. So I'm sorry. Definitely been grieving, just don't know what, but resonates. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Just sit with the feeling. You know, grief is actually your body telling you to soften, that it's okay for you to love. It's okay for you to love, you know, and it's okay for you to love fully. I think grief hits me a lot. I swear my reminders haven't been working. Girl, they hiding me from the world. Y'all should know that by now. Um, but I think grief has a way of opening us and softening us into deeper truth. And oof, I hate grief so much. It feels so hollow. I don't know if y'all could, I mean, if y'all I don't know if y'all feel emotions in the same way that I do, but grief feels so hollow. It feels like all the air out of your body is leaving, and it's probably because grief is tied to your lungs. And so, you know how like when you experience something very traumatic and it feels like you can't breathe, it's because grief is strangling your fucking lungs. And so it's really challenging, but it's okay. You got this, baby. You got this. Give yourself time. The only thing you need to do right now is nurture yourself and figure out what it is that can help you to be comfortable while you navigate what you're navigating. And journal. If you don't want to talk to anybody, journal. But get it outside. You need to get it from the inside to the outside. Okay? Say it out loud. Say it in the mirror. You know? Thank you so much for answering me. Gotta go now. Have a good day at work, my love. And of course, I swear your reminders haven't been working. Okay, go. I'm going back up to the top in the chat on TikTok. Let's see who else we got. And I'm gonna have to see if y'all still here. And so I'm gonna tell you to tap the screen, and if I see a heart, I'm gonna know that you here. Okay. If I don't see a heart, I'm not gonna know. And so hold on, let me go back up. Ooh, somebody said, whatever you do, stay away from Moldavite. No, I ain't gonna say that. This is what I'm gonna say. If you want realignment and you want all the bullshit in your life to fall away, go get that Moldavite. Now, you might not like what falls away, but that Moldavite is going to set you right. Okay, so you got to be ready to lose anything if you touch that Moldavite, but it is going to get you in alignment. Everything probably is going to fall apart. So it could be built back better, but that's not for the weak. That's not for the weak. Let's be clear. Okay, hold on. Let me go back up, y'all. I'm listening. Hold on. Let me make sure that nobody else. I think that I gotta do good. Okay, no, I don't see anybody else. Who? Wait. Good. More plants. Did you pay for a reading? I think I seen something with your name. Girl, that Motivite turned me every which way but loose. Period. You did. I don't see it on my side, babe. Was it Cash App or Zelle? Zelle. Okay, let me check. Calling me. Yeah. I got to listen to some Miguel in the meantime. I need to check out his new album. Did he drop it yet? Have y'all seen that? Do y'all like Miguel? If you say no, I'm kicking you out. Let's be clear. No, I'm just playing. Look back. And promise me wisdom. My appetite. Yeah. I like him. Okay, period. You all right with me, girl? Don't. Okay, I see you. Okay, let's go ahead and get you real quick. And don't look back. Okay. You all right with me, girl? All right. This is for you. Eat more plants. Okay. Ooh. Hold on. We had about 10 of them trying to fly out at me. Hold on. We ain't trying to do all that. Wait a second. All right. Give me the energy they moving away from. Okay. You got one of my favorite cards. Just because of the imagery. Okay. Okay. All right, my love. Don't you run. Okay. The first card is the Two of Stone in reverse. Is this not the most beautiful card I've ever seen in y'all life? I'm just saying. It's in reverse. And this card in reverse is about overwhelm. It's about burnout. It's about imbalance. It's about scattered energy, overcommitment, financial worry, and sometimes a difficulty saying no. Okay. So in the shadow, the balance is lost here. You may be doing too much for too many people, feeling fragmented or stretched thin. The body is speaking, but are you actually listening? You might also feel stuck between two paths, unsure where to root yourself. At the core of this shadow is the belief that your value comes from productivity, meaning thinking you got to do more. Okay. Give me 1 second, credit junkie. I got you, baby. This card may also indicate imbalance in money, in relationships, or attention. Perhaps you're giving freely or receiving little in return, or you're afraid to spend, you're afraid to invest or trust in the flow. The earth holds abundance, but it requires stewardship, which means that you have to tend, right? Shadow balance calls you to realign your priorities and restore the sacred cycle. And so the advice of this card is your energy is not infinite, but it is holy. And so you want to protect it accordingly. Okay. Because you might be giving your energy to too many things, too many people, too many things. Credit junkie, I'm doing free 1 card pools right now, but there's quite a bit of a list. If you do a 3 card pool, it's $11, which is can be sent to Cash App BIGTAJJJ 3Js, and it's a 3 card pool. You skip the line. Okay. Next is the Guarded Flame, and we got this in reverse. Okay. And so that means again, protecting energy too close, a fear of loss. Okay. And this is where you are right now. The card that I got before is that there's some type of imbalance that's coming through from the past. I don't know if you're still navigating this or if you started making changes within this. Okay. Next is where you are right now, and this is the Guarded Flame. This is about hoarding, a fear of loss, a lack mindset, energetic stinginess, a mistrust, overprotection, or isolation. So in the shadow, the 4 stones become a locked vault. You may be clinging too tightly to time, energy, money, or attention, afraid there won't be enough if you open your hand. This card reflects a mistrust of abundance, often rooted in past scarcity or betrayal. You may also be holding your gifts too closely, afraid to share them in case they're misunderstood, stolen, or undervalued. While it's wise to move with discernment, the Guarded Flame can become a prison when built out of fear. This card in shadow invites a deep breath, a softening, a remembering that true security does not come from withholding. It comes from alignment. And so this card is telling you you're not safe because you hide. You are safe because you trust. Okay. And I think a lot of us, again, confuse sovereignty with isolation. Like if we just pull away from people, we just protecting our peace, but that ends up putting us in a place where we spiritual bypass, because it's not that you've healed. It's not that you have good boundaries. It's that you've not been triggered, And so you have to stand so far into your integrity that no matter where you are, whether you're in isolation or if you're in the middle of a fucking storm, that you're able to stand up for yourself. You're able to communicate. You're able to speak your truth, right? Which is what true trust in yourself. You don't need to trust other people when you trust yourself, which is something I'm learning. Okay. Can somebody put the Cash App in the chat for me? BIGTAJJ, 3 J's. Next, we have the King of Waters. It won't let me do it, Credit Junkie, because it always blocks it, so y'all can't see it. This is the King of Waters in reverse. That's next. Oh, you got to let the feeling back in, babe. You got to let the feeling back in. Okay. This card in reverse is about emotional suppression, stoicism, which is like acting like everything is good, avoidance of vulnerability, over control, fear of emotional chaos, or guardedness. Okay. So confirmation again from that second card. In the shadow, the water steward may wear stoicism as armor. He feels deeply, but hides it behind silence, strategy, or sacred detachment. You may appear calm, composed, or even wise, but inside your waters ache to move. This card warns of over-rationalizing emotion or spiritualizing away vulnerability, which means you're intellectualizing. You're trying to think your way through a feeling instead of actually feeling the feeling, or spiritualizing away vulnerability. The King in shadow leads alone, believes he must always be the strong one, and struggles to ask for help. Emotional repression becomes mistaken for emotional mastery, meaning like some people think that they've really mastered their emotions, but they've really just become very good at compartmentalizing, which is Aquarius's, the water bearer. They're called the water bearer because they hold tightly onto the water. But they confuse that for emotional mastery. Like, I'm really good at my emotions. Like, I literally talked to a man to the guillotine. I literally talked to a man and he was just like, "No, I'm just different with my emotions. Like, I just got my emotions on lock." And I'm like, "No, you just compartmentalized. You just stop feeling. You just refuse to feel it." Okay. That's what this is about. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to be held. The river must flow in you, not just for other people. Okay. So the advice here is you don't lose your crown by showing your tears. Okay. What this is saying, it's okay for you to not be okay. It's okay for you to not have everything together. Like, some of us came here to be fierce, transformational, and messy as hell. Be messy. Allow yourself to fall apart. The only thing you really can control, because I think a lot of this energy that was displayed here is rigid energy. And as a former rigid ass person, we're just trying to control things to make ourselves feel safe, but that's the illusion of control. It doesn't actually give us anything because it closes us off from our connection to ourself, because feeling is the connection to your soul, right? And so what you need to do instead is surrender. Okay. I don't know why I just put this up. What you have to do is surrender, my love, which is realize that the only thing you can really control is you, and everything else is going to happen the way it does. You can create as many scenarios in your head about the way you think is going to happen, and it don't happen none of those ways, because we are just not in control. Acceptance of that, and realizing that it's okay for you to not be okay, and for you to need things, for you to also need to be held, is just going to be an important part of where you're moving. Okay. So you have to learn vulnerability. You got to learn to actually feel instead of hiding behind silence or strategy or detachment. I don't know why I feel that feels like isolation. But that's for you, my love. That coffee is disgusting. Fucking gross. All right. Credit Junkie, did you send over payment, baby? You're welcome. Did that make sense for you, love? Are you doing it now? Okay, cool. Let's see who else is in the chat. I'll do a one card pull for somebody above. Give me 1 second. Oop, I'm clicking on shit. I'm sorry if I sent somebody something. All right. Okay. SWVR. Okay, so we are here. I think we are at Primordial Billionaire. Are you still in the chat for me? Primordial Billionaire. This one's for you. This one's for you. Yes, but no, I understood it all. The route I chose to go is challenging my old ways of being. Gotcha. Hey, Dija. So like the reading seemed like old energy. Okay. At the end of the reading, I don't know, because the card in the middle was talking about intellectualizing your way through things. And so I think sometimes, because the last card is about confusing emotional mastery with just getting good at compartmentalizing, right? And the card before that was about intellectualizing your way through it. And I think that sometimes that we believe, because we understand it with our mind, that our body feels safe enough to integrate it. And I think with your body speaks the language of feeling, which means that if you understand it with your mind, but your body doesn't feel safe, it's just going to keep coming back. And so I just will sit with that. I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong or that you haven't fixed whatever the issue is. I'm saying sit with that. Because I see that a lot as a spiritual mentor is people think that they've healed from something. They refuse to look back at something because they're looking at things from a linear lens, meaning like, well, if I go back to this situation, then that just means that I'm going backwards, and not in our reality. That's not how it works. We're moving in a spiral, and sometimes our body takes a minute to integrate that thing, and it doesn't feel safe enough to receive, but we intellectually understand what should happen with our mind. I actually did a live about that. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out. But yes, I understand that fully. My body is catching up. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. Okay. This was supposed to be, yes, so I've been very patient with myself. Okay, good. Damn, who did I say this was for? I done lost you. It's so many damn people in the chat. Hold on. Billionaire. Are you still here, billionaire? If you're not here, I'm going to move on. I'll probably do a couple of these and then I'm probably going to jet set because I've been on here for like 2 hours. It's okay. Zelle is TAJAMOORE16@gmail. Okay. Who is after that? Billionaire, I don't see you, so I'm gonna have to move on, my love. I want to get people who are in the chat. So okay, I think Deja's next. And then Fancy. Are both of y'all in the chat? Deja and Fancy? I know Deja's in the chat. I'll do you first. What about Fancy? Are you there, Fancy? All right, let's see what we got for Deja. That was actually a bop. I don't ever skip that song. Do y'all remember when Black did Free Black? What a time. What a time to be alive. All right. So for you, Deja, I got the 10 of Waters, meaning that there's some type of completion within the family dynamic, but this is also in reverse. So there's the shadow side of this energy. It's chasing idealized connection, emotional dependency, fear of loss, community obsession, false resonance, or self-abandonment for inclusion. In the shadow, the flame family becomes a fantasy of perfect belonging, the illusion that once you find your people, everything will heal. You may over-identify with a group, a partner, or a role, mistaking proximity for depth. There may also be grief beneath it, a fear of abandonment or being left out again, or never being truly known. Okay, this card can reflect spiritual codependency, sacrificing parts of yourself to be loved, accepted, or seen. Remember, soul family will never ask you to shrink to stay. Flame kin reflects your fullness, not your fragments. So the advice here is belonging begins with being at home in yourself. And so what this card really tells you is you got to get around the right people, because I think a lot of us don't realize that we're water. And so water is going to form to whatever container is available. But if when we love somebody, or when we want to belong to something, or whatever the case may be, a lot of times we'll fragment ourselves or try to fit into containers that don't hold our fullness. And so we don't ever really feel seen, valued in those relationships. And a lot of times we feel alone because we dim ourselves or show up as less of ourselves around those people just so that we are tolerable or digestible or whatever the case may be. When in our reality, what you need to do is go around people who have a bigger container, who have a capacity to meet you, but it also requires you to show up authentically, show up in your fullness. which gives people a chance to fully see you. It's so interesting how the collective, us cycling through the same 4 to 5 energies right now. Yeah, we are. We're releasing martyrdom and betrayal and longing and grief right now as a collective. So yeah, that was for Deja, my girl Deja. Fancy didn't respond, and so I think Pache is next. Are you here, Pache? And Amir, is Amir here? Amir Salam. You welcome, Deja. Is Pache still in the chat? Or Amir Salam? Okay, gotcha. No. Next. Hey Locks, is you still in the chat? Let me go back. Chewy, you still here? Let's do a reading for you. And then if anybody else wants a 1 card pull, I'll probably do 2 more. Just drop a thing in the chat. Chewy, you still with us? Let's do one for you. Period, Pooh. I love the excitement. What do we got for Chewy? Okay, we got Oversoul Flame Embodiment for you. Upright. And this is a major thing. Okay, Oversoul Flame Embodiment. I don't know if you can see him. That's our cousin Daryl. Okay. Hi, Lisa. So this is about soul embodiment. This is about a radiant presence. This is about energetic coherence, oversoul activation, light body awakening, oversoul integration, multidimensional healing. Okay. To pull this card is to receive a rare confirmation. You are not just aligning with your oversoul, you are walking as it. This card signals a profound activation. You are integrating the light of the oversoul into your physical vessel. This is a sacred reunion and a cellular remembrance. So the oversoul flame body is the energetic architecture of your eternal self, seated across time, space, and incarnation. When this card appears, the architecture is online. Okay, it's online, meaning you're probably coming online if you're not already there. It may arrive as waves of knowing, sudden upgrades in your spiritual gifts, or intense energetic shifts in your body. You are not just receiving light, you are becoming the light. You may feel clearer, more radiant, more magnetically you than ever before. Others may sense your field shift. This is you being coherent, meaning your inner and outer expressions are now harmonized. This card affirms that your body is no longer a separate container for spirit. It's a vessel of the flame, the temple of divine memory. You may be anchoring timelines, healing generational wounds, or stepping into full flame stewardship. This is not about performance. It's about presence. Okay. So when this card appears, trust that you are no longer seeking your light. It has landed. Your truth, your voice, your movement, your essence, they are all singing the same flame song. This card is both a gift and a responsibility. What you embody now will ripple far beyond you. Okay, so the lesson here is when the oversoul descends fully, life becomes a mirror of embodied truth, and you are a living flame. Tend to your body as a sacred vessel. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're trusting in the process. All of the things. All of the things. Okay, credit junkie. Let me see. I still need you. Okay, I got you. I love this for me and us because my God has it been a long journey? For me too, baby. For me too. This last week really whooped my ass, and I was just like, damn, I think I'm getting it. And then it's something else. Like, give a girl a break. You know? No, we don't need the Spanish version of anything. Okay. All right. This is for you, Credit Junkie. And then I think this is going to be the last one I'm due because Sister Girl got to go have a life. Really, I just need to go sit on my porch and feel the breeze because that's what I do at night. We got some ancestor energy coming through for you, Credit Junkie. Okay. Okay. All right. So the first card that we get for you is the Ten of Stone in reverse. Okay. So this energy is coming in through the shadow side of this energy. Okay. And the shadow side is a fear of responsibility, inherited burdens, pressure to uphold lineage, legacy wounds, overwhelm, control, or generational loops. Okay. In the shadow, the legacy temple can feel like a weight rather than a blessing. You may be overwhelmed by the responsibility of holding or healing a lineage. Perhaps you've inherited structures that are misaligned or feel trapped by ancestral expectations. This card may also surface where fear of success emerges, afraid of what staying rooted might require. Alternatively, you may be attempting to control the outcome or uphold a vision of perfection, forgetting that true legacy is lived, it's not preserved. Okay. The Ten of Stone in shadow asks, what are you still carrying that was never yours to hold? And what might shift if you let the temple breathe? Okay. The advice here is your legacy is not what you protect, it's what you set free. Okay. And so this card is more so about liberation. It's about making sure that whatever it is that you do right now, you're not doing it because you're trying to appease somebody else or carry somebody else's burden or prove something to somebody else. This card is telling you that true legacy is liberation, and so you might be a generational curse breaker. You might be somebody who came here to do things differently. And so you need to trust in your ability to do that because when there's legacy wounds, specifically, I see this in like Caribbean families or African family or families that are coming from overseas. A lot of times what I'll see is that the parents have sacrificed everything to be here, right? And so they expect their kid to become a doctor or a lawyer or this or that. And sometimes the kids have a hard time saying no. And it causes them to feel like they have to carry these burdens because my family sacrificed all of this for me or whatever it is. I don't know what the case is for you, but this card is basically telling you is that there might be pressure on you to uphold a lineage and you might be carrying things that don't actually belong to you, or there might be a fear of success because you don't know what the success and whatever it is that you want to do is going to lead to. Okay. So that's the first card. You're doing reading so mad I missed it. I really want to join. Yes, I am. I was doing free 1-card pulls and 3-card pulls for $11. I'm actually probably about to hop off after this reading. But we'll see how I feel after I get through these next 2 cards, y'all. I don't have a yes or no. I don't. Okay, so next is the Two of Stone, and again, this is in reverse, and so this is about overwhelm, burnout, imbalance, overcommitment, financial worry, or difficulty saying no. And I feel like I just said difficulty saying no in the last section. So in shadow, the balance is lost. You may be doing too much for too many, feeling fragmented or stretched thin. The body is speaking, but are you listening? You might also feel stuck between 2 paths, unsure where to root yourself. At the core of this shadow is the belief that your value comes from productivity. Society tells us we need to do more, but it also tells us we need to give more. And I think sometimes we get stuck in that loop of perfectionism or trying to achieve something through effort and not giving ourselves times to rest. And to sit in the stillness of what it is that we actually need. Okay. So this card may also indicate imbalance in money, relationships, or attention. Perhaps you're giving freely or receiving little in return, or you're afraid to spend, invest, or trust in the flow. The earth holds abundance, but it requires stewardship. So shadow balance calls you to realign your priorities and restore the sacred cycle. And so the advice is understand your energy is not infinite. It is holy. You need to protect it accordingly. Okay. So make sure you have good boundaries. Make sure you know how to say no. And then the last card is the Nine of Waters, which is a card of overflow. And this is actually in the upright position as well. And this is what future, where you're headed, okay? If you can balance out these two energies that we've talked about, okay? And this is a card of overflow. It's about emotional fulfillment. It's about soul joy. It's about heart contentment, inner abundance, wish realization, radiant self-love, and aligned receptivity. Okay. The Nine of Waters is the moment when joy returns, not as a flash, but as a steady stream. This is soul fulfillment that rises from within, not from external gain, meaning what's going to fulfill you is not going to come from productivity. Okay. It's not going to come from doing more. Okay. A deep wish may be manifesting, or you may simply be feeling more emotionally you than you ever have before. This card marks a season of inner celebration. You've done the work, you've left what no longer serves you, and you've tended your waters, and now you overflow. This is not just happiness, it's soul resonance. Pleasure becomes sacred, gratitude becomes your compass. You're glowing, not to be seen, but because you are seen by yourself. Meaning this card is telling you that you didn't come here to be met. You didn't come here to be understood. You came here to meet yourself, and through you meeting yourself, you can get into this state of abundance because you're living your life for other people. And it's caused some type of imbalance. And in order for you to get this joy or this inner fulfillment that you want, you're going to have to disappoint people, and you're going to have to choose you. Right. Receive this moment. You've earned it. And so the lesson here is, when your heart is full, you stop chasing what was never yours to chase in the first place. Okay. And that was for my girl Credit Junkie. You still in here, babe? All right, I'll take a couple more people because I've seen it's a couple people jumping in who want readings. I'm doing 3-card pull readings like the one that I just did, $11. My Cash App is BIGTAJJJ, or you can Zelle it, TAJAMOORE16 @gmail. I can't put it in the chat because TikTok never shows you guys what I'm putting in the chat, unfortunately. You're welcome, Credit Junkie. I can't put it in the chat because TikTok is not going to allow y'all to see it if I put it in the chat. Yes, my Cash App is BIGTAJJJ. It's the same as my TikTok name, BIGTAJJJ. And my email is TAJAMOORE16 @gmail. If you want to Zelle. I probably got about another B. B is in Bravo. BIG. Thank you, Dallas. BIGTAJJ. Thank you, Dallas. Y'all can put it in the chat. I just can't put it in the chat because TikTok hates me. That's disgusting, y'all. I didn't want to put sugar in my coffee, and so I put honey. Disgusting choice. Despicable. I should be stoned. It's disgusting. It's so disgusting. Oof. I'll do a couple more, y'all. What else am I doing? Yeah, put some more coffee in there or something. Yeah. Pookie. Oh, my bad, girl. She looked at me like, why the fuck are you even yelling? Girl, because this is my house. That's why. Yeah. Tasha Moore 16 @gmail. Yep. I really have to do a one-on-one with you, period. I love that for us, Vanessa. I offer, if you do it on live, I mean, like you can book it through my website. If you do a mirror reading on live, you get, I think it's half the price. If you want to do it private though, I also have that available too. Hey, precious baby. Let me know when y'all send it, and it'll at least take 2 more people. What are you drinking on your fast, or what type of fast are you doing? I'm doing a water fast, And so I'm just drinking water and coffee. When, like, at the end of the day, I got to drink coffee because my digestive system is indirect, which means that my body wants food at night, unfortunately. And so I have to drink coffee so that I could trick my body into, girl, shut up. So I could debo my body into allowing me to continue not eating. Private readings are going to be on my website. My website is bigtajj.com. And you just click where it says book a service, and all my services are listed there. If you want something like a general life reading, it would be the Mirror Flame readings. If you want something like a human design reading, but from the soul aspect, like your oversoul mission, what you came here to do, the character you came here to play, all of those things, that's going to be an oversoul design reading. And flame lineage readings are higher level. And so you have to be pretty far on your journey for those. Wait, is that why I'm starving at night? I have alternating appetite. Oh no, alternating appetite is you just can't eat so many ingredients at one time. Like you got to eat the chicken, then eat the broccoli, then eat the rice. Like you need to alternate. But no, it would be indirect or sun. I'm working on my 5-minute meditation. Then I will get the soul reading, period. I love that for you, Dallas. All right, Susie. Where you at, girl? Oh, no, it's okay. There is no wrong way. I mean, it is for you, because that's how you process information. And also that has to do with your determination as well. And so you just want the least amount of ingredients at one time as possible. Hey, Czar. Yeah, we have a new moon today in Libra. Yeah, it's just a time for you to get clear about what it is that you need in relationships. It's a time for you to find balance in your life. No wonder I'm feeling off. Well, no, a new moon is a new beginning. It's good energy today. It's a really great time for you to start something new, especially with it falling on a Tuesday. Tuesdays are amazing days to start something new. And so what you do now is going to anchor through in these next couple of weeks. Okay. All right, Susie. Oh, that's you, Dallas. Okay. Let's see what we got for my girl. Oh, thank you, Sarah. We got some of the same energy coming out. We got some of the same energy. Quick question for a one-on-one. Do I need to know what time I was born? No, because the only time you need your time of birth is if you're going to do an oversoul design reading. If you're not doing an oversoul design reading, then you're just doing like a psychic mediumship reading. And I don't use cards in those unless you do like a flame reflective reading. But if you're just doing a psychic mediumship reading, you don't need anything but yourself. Sosa baby, are you Tella? Let me do these 2 readings, Jovi, and then I'll let you know. Yes, I got you, baby. I'll get you next, okay? Good. You're welcome, love. We getting some of the same energy here. Okay. I don't know why I need to pull one more card for you, Dallas, and so I'm gonna do that. All right. K-Simon, you're gonna be the last person. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is for you, Susie, Dallas. So we get this Knight of Stone energy again, in reverse, and this Knight of Stone energy is about stagnation. It's about being overly cautious, a fear of movement, being stuck in planning, a fear of failure or resistance to change. In the shadow, the Knight of Stone can become immobile, paralyzed by the fear of doing it wrong or stepping before everything is perfect. You may be overly focused on structure, plan, or preparation, avoiding the sacred risk that all creation requires. This card can also indicate being stuck in routine where safety has replaced growth. Alternatively, you may be ignoring your deeper calling because it feels too unrealistic or impractical. But truth does not wait for comfort, it asks for trust, right? And so this card is telling you, you need to trust in your abilities and trust in yourself to lead yourself. The reason why you might feel stuck right now is because you're trying to get it perfect. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to trust in your abilities that whatever comes your way, you're going to be able to navigate it, okay? The night shadow whispers, are you building or are you avoiding? And the advice is planning is sacred, but not if it keeps you from moving. I think a lot of us are trying to make the perfect step because reality has conditioned us towards perfectionism. And so we don't make a step at all because we're trying to get it right. It's not about getting it right. It's about trusting in your abilities to lead you. Okay. Then we get the legacy card again. And this is also in the shadow side, which means that there might also be the fear of responsibility. You might have inherited burdens, pressure to uphold lineages, legacy wounds, control generational loops. So in the shadow, the legacy temple can feel like a weight rather than a blessing. You may be overwhelmed by the responsibility of holding or healing a lineage. Perhaps you've inherited structures that are misaligned or feel trapped by ancestral expectations. This card may also surface where fear of success emerges, afraid of what staying rooted might require. Alternatively, you might be attempting to control the outcome or upholding a vision of perfection, forgetting that true legacy is lived and not just preserved. And I think a lot of times with us trying to control the outcome of things, we limit what we have access to. And what I mean by that is, if you were say, I want $1 million, what if there's $16 million out there for you, or there's $8 million or 6 million? You don't see any of those things because you want it to happen in this specific way. And so we get stuck in the outcome we want to see, and we don't get to enjoy the ride along the way. And so this is saying, like, release the reins a little bit. The 10 of stones is in the shadow. Ask, what are you still carrying that was never yours to hold? And what might shift if you let the temple breathe, right? Your legacy is not what you protect, it's what you set free. And so it's more so about liberating yourself from the projections of other people, which can sometimes be society, it can sometimes be your parents, it could sometimes be you deciding, because this was me, deciding that you're going to be the one to heal the generation, but that weight that you place on your shoulder is unsurmountable. Thinking that you're going to be the one to save them, you're going to be the one to create that generational wealth, right? It puts you in this energy of moving from fear instead of moving based off of what you actually do want. And so the next card I get after that is, again, this 9 of waters. And this is what the energy you moving towards type of energy: emotional fulfillment, soul joy, heart contentment, inner balance, radiant self-love, and aligned receptivity. The 9 of waters is the moment when joy returns, not as a flash, but as a steady stream. This is soul fulfillment that rises from within, not from external gain. A deep wish may be manifesting, or you simply may be feeling more emotionally you than you ever have before. This card makes a season of inner celebration. You've done the work. You've left what no longer serves you. You've tended to the waters, and now you're in overflow. This is not just happiness. It's soul resonance. Pleasure becomes sacred. Gratitude becomes your compass. You're glowing not to be seen, but because you are seen by yourself, right? Receive the moment, you have earned it. The lesson here is when your heart is full, you stop chasing what was never yours. And so what this is telling you is that you don't get fulfillment from productivity. You don't get fulfillment from doing more or giving more or appeasing other people. This card is telling you, you need to figure out what it is that you actually want, what lights your soul on fire, and you need to go after that, because happiness comes from soul resonance. Joy comes from soul resonance, which means you need to listen to what your body is telling you, right? I also pulled the flame bearer in the shadow. Sorry, the page of flame in the shadow. And sir, please. Okay. The page of shadow, the page of flame in the shadow, which is impulsiveness, it's naivety, it's ungrounded energy, or a lack of follow through, a fear of depth. Okay. So in the shadow, the page can become reckless, scattered, or avoidant of deeper responsibility. You may leap from spark to spark without integration, or resist structure and depth in fear of losing freedom. Sometimes this card appears when we use spiritual or creative energy to avoid discomfort of the inner work. The flame stays lit and flashy, but never anchors. But remember, the child of fire becomes the keeper of it if they choose to stay present long enough to learn. So the advice here is play with your fire, but do not abandon it when it asks to become real. And so this might be somebody who starts a lot of things but doesn't finish them, who doesn't follow through on them. You know, when things get real or it feels like it starts to become work, you might abandon ship, right? And so what this card is really asking you is that you sit present with things a little bit longer, because you might actually learn something if you do it that way. You might just be keeping things surface level instead of moving with depth. Okay. And then the last card, girl, the last card is the Seven of Waters, which is about temptation and fantasies and having multiple desires, which can cause confusion and emotional overwhelm and spiritual distraction. And so discernment is kind of needed with this card. The Seven of Water reveals a moment of choice within a field of emotional possibilities. You may be faced with many paths, people, or soul desires, and yet the more you look, the harder it becomes to feel clear. This card arrives when your heart is stirred, but your discernment is clouded. Not every cup is meant to be drunk from. Some are offerings, some are distractions, and some are mirrors of your unspoken longing. This is a sacred moment of emotional sorting. The water shimmers with fantasy, potential, illusion, and truth, but only one leads deeper into remembrance. You're being asked to slow down and to feel beneath the surface of your desires. Which path feels like soul resonance and which feels like ego escape? Okay, this lesson is desire is holy when it's truly yours, which means sometimes you might get lost in too many ideas. You might get lost in too many desires and not know which direction to go. What this is saying is slow down so you can listen to yourself, because I think society pushes us into this energy of go, 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 go. So we don't have time to think. And we think that when we're in stillness or we're in this void where we're being formed, this area of confusion, that it's a bad thing. It means that we failed. And that's not really true. It just means that your old self needs to die so the new you can be formed. But if you're not listening, then you stay in this state of confusion. And so slowing down helps you to root into stillness so that you can hear yourself clearly, so you can figure out what you actually truly want right now. Okay. That was for my girl, Zalis. How do you feel about that, Dallas? I know you put something in the chat. Yes. Hey, Nurse Real. Girl, I thought something was crawling on me. I'm glad I didn't panic, because I would have flipped all this shit over. Thank you for this. I'll be all over the place. It's the sad Jimmy. Okay, I got you. That makes sense. You know, so what this card is really telling you is slow down, because I think Sagittarius energy is very spontaneous and it's very about the adventure, that sometimes it never, and sometimes too, if I'm being honest, I had a Sagittarius mama. Sometimes it can be financially irresponsible as well, you know, because it's seeking the thrill. And I think Sagittarius is such a wise energy. But if Sagittarius never stops to reflect, it can become emotionally immature. And what I mean by that is, like, you don't learn from the lessons. And y'all energy is so philosophical, it's so wise. Y'all are some of my favorite people to talk to, because y'all get it. Y'all are the energy of depth. But I think y'all can get stuck in the surface level if y'all never reflect, you know. There's so much wisdom that comes with the energy that you contain. But I think sometimes when y'all are afraid of the depth, or y'all keep things surface level with people because y'all don't want to be hurt or whatever the case may be, it can kind of cause y'all to not learn the lessons, you know. Your energy is the energy of abundance, though, so luck is on your side, baby. Luck is on your side. One thing about it, finesse kings and queens. Everything always works out for y'all. And so you just got to take the leap in a direction that actually feels like something you want to do, opposed to you trying to appease everybody else. Okay. Next is Tella. Okay. Body yaddy in a juicy sweatpants, period. Okay, I got you. All right, let's see what we got for you, baby. Oh, I'm holding the cards wrong, child. All right. Let's see. You still with me, love? Okay. That was aggressive. Okay. Good, good, good. I don't feel like I'm done. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So the first card that I get for you, my love, is the King of Water energy. Okay. This again is a card of emotional suppression. It's about stoicism, pretending that everything is okay, over control, fear of emotional chaos, avoidance of vulnerability, and guardedness. Okay. So in the shadow, the water steward may wear stoicism as armor. He feels deeply, but hides it behind silence, strategy, or sacred detachment. You may appear calm, composed, even wise, but inside your waters ache to move, meaning like you're not feeling your feelings. This card warns of over rationalizing emotion, meaning trying to think your way through feeling, because those are two different languages. Thoughts is electric energy, feeling is magnetic energy. And so you can never think your way through a feeling because your mind does not have the capacity to conceive what your body knows, okay, which is feeling, okay? Or you might be spiritualizing away vulnerability. The king in shadow leads alone, believes he must always be the strong one, and struggles to ask for help. Okay, this is hyper independence in a way. Emotional repression becomes mistaken for emotional mastery, which means you really get good at compartmentalizing what it is that you need, or compartmentalize the way that you feel about things. You might not speak up for yourself, or you might just detach from people and because I'm good for a bye, you know. What this card is telling you that you are allowed to feel, you are allowed to be held, and the river must flow in you, not just for other people. You got to extend the same compassion you giving to other people. You got to get that to yourself too, okay? And so the advice here is you don't lose your crown by showing your tears. There's nothing weak about being vulnerable. We have been deceived as a society, okay? If you cut off your access to your feelings, you cut off your access to your soul, because that's how your soul communicates to you. And so you'll always be in a state of confusion, looking for answers outside of yourself if you don't start to feel again. Because feeling is a language. It's telling you I like this or I don't like this. No matter what the emotion is, if it feels good, that's a yes, move towards it. That's your soul saying, yes, girl, I want that real bad. But if it doesn't feel good, set a boundary, move away from it. You don't have to understand why they behaved the way that they did. You don't have to understand what happened. You only have to understand that it didn't feel good, and we ain't doing that. That's it. Okay. So that's the first card. And that could be an energy. You might be trying to be more vulnerable right now because this is in the past part. Okay. Meaning like that's something that you might be coming away from or moving away from. Currently, we have this Three of Waters. I don't know why I feel like somebody betrayed you or betrayed your trust or something. Um, this is my jam. All right. Next, we get the Three of Stone, and it's over reliance on other people, unequal energy exchange, lack of boundaries, group confusion, creative tension, or codependent projects. So in the shadow, the collaboration becomes clouded. Perhaps you're depending too much on others, unsure how to stand in your own voice, or maybe you're doing all of the work while other people coast on your energy. Misaligned partnerships, clashing values, or lack of shared vision can distort what was meant to be sacred. This card also warns against hiding behind collaboration as a way to avoid full responsibility for your own flame. Your contribution is essential. Okay. And so this card really is a neat way of saying speak up because your perspective is needed. Okay. But it must come from sovereignty and not survival, meaning like it must be rooted in clarity and not you speaking up from your wounds. Okay. Shadow collaboration ask, am I collaborating from trust or from lack? Meaning, like, are you in relationships with other people because you trust those people, or are you in relationships with other people because you fear being alone, or you might have abandonment issues? Do I feel seen, valued, and heard in this creation? True co-creation honors the flame in everyone. Okay. So what you need is also important, is what this is saying. The advice is, not all who gather are meant to build with you. Not everybody can come where you're going. Okay. And so you need to figure out who is actually around you because you like them or because they fully see you, instead of who's around you because they benefit from you in some way or you benefit from them in some way. Okay. Next is the stone bearer, which is a lot of earth energy here. The stone bearer, the page of stone in reverse, which is also the shadow side. And so this is about hesitation, of fear, failure, undervaluing your gifts, doubt and embodiment, perfectionist, paralysis, or delaying service. Okay. So in the shadow, the stone bearer may feel afraid to step forward. You might question your readiness, worry your offering isn't worthy, or compare yourself to other people who appear further along, which is, this card is about living too far in the future. Like, I should be here, I should be there. And it kind of makes you dissatisfied with where you are right now. Okay. The body may feel like a stranger, something you ignore, distrust, or push too hard. You may also feel stuck at the edge of embodiment, staying in the ideas realm without bringing it into form. The fear of doing it wrong can lead you to not doing it at all. Okay, so there might be something that's trying to emerge from you. I mean, you might have all these great ideas, but you're struggling to bring it into this reality. You're struggling to take a step forward because you want to do it the right way, right? Or you don't want to get it wrong, or you don't want to fail, right? This card reminds you that initiation is messy and sacred, and that the only true mistake is not beginning. Okay. And so this advice is, you won't learn how to carry the stone until you actually lift it. And this card is about willingness. You know, if you move from fear, you close off options. If you move from willingness and trust, you open up options, right? Fear of failure will keep us stuck where we are or keep us in our comfort zone. But in order for you to step into who you're supposed to be, you're going to have to get uncomfortable, because you have to learn how to navigate the unknown. And I think the ego makes that really hard, because it doesn't care about us being happy. It wants to keep us safe. And so it wants to, it rewards sameness. However, it just doesn't get us what we want. So on the other side of that fear is everything that you want. And so this card is telling you to take the step. Don't worry about being perfect. Let yourself be messy, because being messy is also sacred, you know? And then the last thing is the card of balance, but this is in reverse again. And this is about overwhelm, burnout, scattered energy, financial worry, or difficulty saying no. In the shadow side, hi, Samantha, I'm doing good. How are you? In the shadow, the balance is lost. You may be doing too much for too many, feeling fragmented or stretched thin. The body is speaking, but are you listening? That's the second time that Spirit is saying you need to listen to your body, which means your mind is overriding your body. Okay. And your mind is only the limited version of you. So the limitations are self-imposed at this point. When the mind is overriding the body, you're trying to intellectualize your way through life when you need to feel your way through life. Okay. You might also feel stuck between two paths, unsure where to root. At the core of this shadow is the belief that your values come from productivity. You're not going to get anywhere doing more, okay, or giving more. This card may also indicate imbalance in money, relationship, or attention. Perhaps you're giving freely or receiving little in return, or you're afraid to spend, invest, or trust in the flow. The earth holds abundance, but it requires stewardship. Shadow balance calls you to realign your priorities and restore your sacred cycle, which means it's so important that you figure out what you value right now, and then you prioritize your life around that, meaning making choices that are aligned with what you say you value. Okay, the advice is, your energy is not infinite, but it is holy, so you need to protect it accordingly. Make sure you have good boundaries. Make sure you're saying no when it's time to say no. You should only say yes to things that you passionately and truly want to do. Okay, meaning that you probably need to walk, like when people ask for your help, you need to say, let me think about it, because you probably need to feel into it first before you make a decision. Okay, you need to get into your body, because you're probably a generator. You're probably a person. I'm actually on my last two, Samantha. I'm sorry, my love. You need to get into your body and out of your mind. Okay, because if your mind was never supposed to be the master. Your mind is supposed to take in information from your physical senses and send it down to the body to be felt. The body feels it, the body gains the wisdom from it, the body sends it back up to the mind in order for you to logically organize it, so then you can share it. right? Because we're here to grow, evolve, and help each other shift together. But your mind does not have the capacity to understand anything, because understanding comes from feeling. It comes from your body. Okay. And so if you try to understand something with your mind, you become confused. You become stagnant. You don't know which choice to make. Right. So what this is saying is base it off of how things make you feel, because that's your body's language. If it feels good, that's a yes, move towards it. That's getting closer to soul alignment. But if it feels bad, that's a no, set a boundary, move away from it. You don't need an explanation. You just need to know that it didn't feel good. And that's all you need to know. Okay. That's how you rebalance. That last card, the video started messing up because someone called me. Oh, damn. Do you need me to repeat it, my love? Because I can. It's about balance. Um, it's about your energy is calling you into realignment with your priorities and to restore the sacred cycle, which means that it's really important for you to right now to figure out what you value and reprioritize your life around what it is that you value. Because right now, you get your value from productivity. You think you just have to do more or give more, and that's what's going to get you what you want. But in all reality, it's not. That's you moving based off of society standards, and society standards keep you in a place of fear because you fear failure, or you don't want to be broke, or you don't want to have to depend on other people, right? But what this card is really saying is that you need to realign yourself with your priorities, and that's going to help you to restore the sacred cycle of exchange, right? And so understand that your energy is not infinite. So you need to protect it. You need to have good boundaries. You need to learn how to say no, and then get out of your mind and into your body, meaning that your mind is what tells you need to do more, right? You need to give more, but your body moves slower. And so that means slow down a little bit. Okay. If somebody asks for your help, tell them you got to think about it, and then you need to go and sit with the feeling. And if it feels good and you really want to do it, that's a yes. But if it doesn't feel good, or you ask yourself, would I do this 10 times over? And the answer is no, that's a no. Right. But also how people make you feel is important as well. Because if you can base things based off of how things make you feel, it'll change everything for you. You get out of your mind. Right. And so what I mean by that is, if you go over there and you telling your friends your ideas and they make you feel good and they're like, oh my gosh, girl, go after it. Those are your people. That's a yes, move towards it. But if they like, oh, well, I think that's stupid, that's not practical, those are not your people. Those are not the people you want to share with. You set a boundary. I will never share with them again. I'll go. And then you go where you received. Right. And so base your life based off of how things make you feel and not what you think about it. Because what you think, you'll never be able to understand anything from your mind, because understanding comes from feeling. So you got to learn how to feel again. And it's going to change everything for you. Don't say I ain't never told you nothing, friend. I would really appreciate it. Not just this one just did, but the one before that. Oh, you missed the one before that. Okay, hold on. I think that was the stone bearer, the page of stone. So the one before that would have been fear, failure, undervaluing your gifts, perfection, paralysis, and delayed service. So in the shadow, the stone bearer may feel afraid to step forward. You might question your readiness, worry your offering isn't worthy, or compare yourself to other people who appear further along, which is basically you living in the future. So if you're living in the future, you become like, I should be somewhere else. This person is doing this, like I should be further along. It makes you dissatisfied with where you are right now. So what this is saying is you got to get out of the future and into the present moment. Okay. The body may feel like a stranger, something that you ignore, distrust, or push too hard, meaning like you're not honoring what your body actually needs. You may feel stuck at the edge of embodiment, staying in the ideas realm without bringing it into form, meaning that you probably have a lot of great, brilliant ideas, but you're struggling to do something about it, right? And so this is the fear of doing it wrong, which can lead you to not doing anything at all. And so this card reminds you that initiation is messy and is sacred. So you have to allow yourself to be messy. Don't worry about making the perfect step, because your journey is not about perfection. It's about authenticity. And so that means that you are supposed to refine as you go and learn as you go. There are no failures for you. You're only weeding out what option works for you. Okay. And so the only true mistake for you is not starting at all. Okay, so the advice is you won't learn how to carry the stone until you actually lift it. And so this card is about willingness to try, willingness to put yourself out of there, willingness to step forward, because a lot of times clarity comes as you move. Okay. All right. K Simon, are you still here? This will be my last one for the night. I don't do readings like that, babe. Because I think readings about like, is this person seeing somebody else? Is this person doing this? What you're asking me to do is validate your worth. If you don't trust somebody, you shouldn't be with them. I think that's a very cheap way for people to use their psychic gifts. And I don't mean that as judgment, because I think there was a stage in my journey where I needed that external validation a lot. But I realized that, okay, I realized that it just doesn't feel good as a medium to tell you whether or not somebody likes you or not. Dang, I was going to ask how I could get one of these. This is actually, what time is it? 7:00. I've been on live for 3 hours, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know. Let me do this last one and I'll see. You're so great. I appreciate this so much. You're welcome, baby. Anytime. Yeah, I think this might, I don't know. I'll let you know if this is going to be my last reading or not. I haven't felt me so well. And nowadays, I'm not going to ask those. Okay, it's a personal question. Okay, thanks. Yep, I'll let you know. And just give me a second. Let me just do this reading first real quick. I'll catch the next one. Okay. I might do a 1-card pull for y'all. Instead of doing like a reading where y'all pay, I can do a free 1-card pull but y'all 3 are it. I want to hear another. Y'all 3 are it. Okay. If y'all decide. This is for K Simon. This is for you. This one's for you. Because my damn head is spinning at this point. Okay. Okay. So we got some repeated energy here, but it's okay. We ain't worried about it. Okay, so the first card that I get for you is the 8 of water, but this time it's actually upright, okay, which is the card of the departure. It's about letting go. It's about soul maturity. It's about a sacred farewell, emotional release, inner calling, courage, and spiritual evolution, okay? So the 8 of waters appears when you're being called to walk away, not out of anger or impulse, but from a deeper knowing that something or someone can no longer hold your growth. This is the moment of emotional maturity when staying would cost your soul more than leaving ever could. Even love, even beauty, even comfort may be left behind. Because your inner waters are stirring and whispering, there's more, there's truth beyond this. You may be feeling guilty, nostalgia, or even hesitation, but this path ahead is not abandonment, it's alignment. Okay, you're not abandoning anyone, you're aligning with yourself. This card asks you to trust the quiet ache that says it's time to go. You're not running, you are remembering. And that means rising. And so the lesson here is to leave what no longer serves, is to return to what truly does. Okay. So that's the first card. So I don't know if you recently left a situation or ended friendships or whatever the case may have been. I don't know why. I started feeling like my mouth was dry. But this is basically saying it don't got to be no beef or nothing like that. But moving away is not always like don't feel like you abandoning nobody just because people are not where you are anymore. Okay. Next is the Knight of Breath. Okay, but he's in reverse. Okay, and this is where you are right now. This is sharp tongue, forceful speech, spiritual arrogance, overextension, truth is a weapon, and reckless movement. So in the shadow, the Knight of Breath becomes impatient and reactive. You may be rushing to speak before fully listening or using truth to dominate rather than connect. Okay. and sometimes what I see this is like somebody will, for example, I see this a lot of times. A spiritual community will do this to religious people. We'll be like, well, your God is not real, and da 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 da. And we say it very harshly, and use the truth as like a weapon. And like, this is what the truth, you need to understand the truth is this. Or we'll tell our parents, like, you need to stop going to those pharmaceutical sales, you know, those pharmaceuticals, you need to do herbs and stuff. It's like almost trying to force your way of thinking onto other people. The mind becomes a sword that cuts indiscriminately, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of pride. There's also a risk of spiritual elitism. I know better, so I must say the thing, right? So the breath becomes heavy, quick becomes careless. And this is a mirror moment. Are you moving from clarity or ego dressed as wisdom? Okay, the advice here is truth without compassion is just another weapon. I say this all the time. You know, when I first started learning how to communicate, I was a menace to fucking society. I was ready to burn it all down, right? And I like compassion in what I was saying. It didn't mean that it was anything wrong with what I was saying. It's just that I had to realize that if people have to want to change first, and so I spent a lot of my time proving or convincing or trying to get people to see it my way. But I was also trying to fix them and save them and heal them. And when you do that, you're trying to fix somebody, save somebody, and heal somebody, and they're not ready to change, it really feels like judgment and criticism. And like you're saying, I know better than you. I know better than what I know what's best for you in your life, you know? And so what this card really encourages you to do is to slow down and realize that everybody's on this journey together, but we got different directions, and they're going to be the best expert for their life. You'll be the best expert for yours. And I think sometimes our energy, especially those who have of us who have come back multiple times, a lot of us are tired of saying the same thing or repeating the same thing. And so we become very impatient with people who need bridging, who need time, who need to learn lessons first. And we become kind of reactive, and we try to force our way of thinking or force things onto them when they're not ready to receive that. And so my advice with this card, as a person who was doing that, yeah, it wasn't that I was wrong. It was just that they was not ready. You can fracture somebody's identity doing that. And so you have to understand that you're going to have to be the person who witnesses the people that you love doing things that are against their, things that are out of alignment with them. And you have to understand that you came here to witness. It's not your job to fix, save, or heal them. It's your job to fix, save, and heal yourself and become the example for them to see. But it's not your job to jump in and try to save them. Because when you do that, you pull yourself out of alignment, because your job is you, you know? And so this is saying, like, compassion is so important when you speak to other people, because you're still speaking to a human. And so when people come to me and they talk about religion, I don't immediately like, if you're Jesus, Jesus is real. I don't do that. I'm just like, okay, I think that's actually a really good step. If you're focused on spirituality, I do think it's a limited way of looking at spirituality. But if that's the direction that you choose to go, I support you in that, you know, because they get to choose. And who am I to say that I know what's best for you? And I don't even know where you're going. And I haven't even lived all your experiences. That's arrogant, you know, and that's what I had to realize. That's arrogance, you know. And then the last thing is the Seven of Waters. Ah, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep drinking it and keep complaining about it. The Seven of Waters is about temptation. It's about fantasy. It's about having multiple desires, emotional overwhelm, spiritual distraction, and discernment. So the Seven of Water reveals a moment of choice within a field of emotional possibility. You may be faced with many past, people, or soul desires, and yet the more you look, the harder it becomes to feel clear. This card arrives when your heart is stirred, but your discernment is clouded. Not every cup is meant to be drunk from. Some are offerings, some are distractions, some are mirrors of an unspoken longing. This is a sacred moment of emotional sorting. The water shimmers with fantasy, potential, illusion, and truth, but only one leads to deeper into remembrance. You're being asked to slow down and feel beneath the surface of your desires. Which path feels like soul resonance, not ego escape, right? And so this is, desire is holy, but only when it's truly yours. Every desire that you have that doesn't belong to you is going to burn you out. But when it does belong to you, and it's not something that you decided out of fear, it's going to make you feel fulfilled, right? And so what this card is saying is, like, you might have so many options that you can't choose and you're in a state of confusion. It's telling you to slow down and listen. Slow down and listen, okay? Boom, boom, baby. That was for you, K. Simon. All right. Who is the three who said they wanted a one card pull? Let me go back up. Mackenzie. Jovi, is you still here? Lexi with the sister locks. I think Lexi is first. Lexi with the sister locks, then Mackenzie, then Jovi, then Sam on YouTube, or whichever order I decide to do that in. Okay. These is the last ones. Okay. So I think Lexi with the sister locks. Okay, Sam, I got you in just a second. Lexi with the sister locks, I'm gonna do you, and then I'm gonna do Sam from YouTube. This is just a one card pull. Okay. Oh, damn. You ain't have to do all that. Okay, the four of breath. It's time to quiet that mind, girl. That mind is doing dangerous, treacherous things. Okay, this is about rest. It's about inner silence. It's about mental recovery, spaciousness, soul integration, clarity through stillness. Okay, so the four of breath invites you into mental stillness, not because nothing is happening, but because something deeper is trying to reach you. This is a moment when the mind exhales after conflict, confusion, or inner noise. The soul now asks for space to integrate what has been revealed. You are not disconnected, you are processing. You are not lost, you are listening. Okay, this card often appears after a period of mental strain or truth activation. It brings the medicine of pause, solitude, and gentle spaciousness, meaning like you're giving your body time to integrate. Okay. In the silence, oversoul wisdom begins to rise, not as a shout, but as a hum beneath thought. The quiet mind is the space between stories where the next chapter is beginning to form, but it's just happening wordlessly. Okay. The lesson of this card is stillness is not absence. It is where your oversoul speaks the loudest. And so you need to hear, you need to listen to yourself. Okay. I got to go, but thank you for all you've given tonight. You are welcome, my love. This will be on YouTube, y'all. All right. What should I do to have a good relationship with my aunt? She seems always nagging me about every little thing about my life. I don't feel freedom and I feel afraid about her. Um, you got to stop trying to please her, my love. You're going to have to disappoint her because I don't think that she's ever going to be satisfied. To be honest, her energy feels very controlling. Um, And I don't think you're ever going to be able to satisfy her. So I think you need to stop trying to satisfy her. I think you need to realize that this life is your life and you have to live it the way that you want to live it. Okay. I don't know why she seems angry and manipulative. I've never stayed for a live this long before. LOL. This is awesome. This helped me. Is that fair to say, Samantha? Are you doing something that she doesn't like that you're doing? Like, I don't know why I feel like it's the way that you're living or the way that you are as a person. Like there's something that she doesn't like. I don't know why I feel like this has to do with sexuality or something. Like it's something big like that. You're welcome, Lexi. Yes, you are saying the true. I always do good things, but for her, everything seems wrong. Yeah, I don't think she's somebody that you can satisfy. I think she's somebody who is stuck in victimhood and somebody who expects everything for everybody, but she doesn't give anything. Well, when she does, actually, I do feel like when she does give something, it's because it's out of ego. It's like to say that she did. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, and I think she also sees you as like an extension of her ego. So what you do directly impacts her. So you need to do it her way. I think you just have to stop trying to appease her. Let me pull a card for you though and see. I don't think you're ever going to be able to satisfy her though. And so instead she's going to be disappointed anyways. Disappoint her. Yes. Okay. Got you. And then I get the 10 of flame in reverse. I'm sorry, Ten of Flame is crazy. The Ten of Water in reverse, which is about family. Okay. And it's in the shadow side. And this is about chasing idealized connection, emotional dependency, fear of loss, false resonance, or self abandonment for inclusion. Self abandonment for inclusion. In the shadow, the flame family becomes a fantasy of perfect belonging, the illusion that once you find your people, everything will heal. You may over identify with a group, a partner, or a role, mistaking proximity for depth. There may also be grief beneath this, a fear of abandonment or being left out again, or never truly being known. Okay, this card can reflect spiritual codependency, sacrificing parts of yourself to be loved, accepted, or seen. Remember, soul family will never ask you to shrink to stay. Flame kin reflects your fullness, not your fragments. And so the advice here is that belonging begins with you being a home to yourself, meaning you have to set healthy boundaries, because if you don't, you have to make yourself feel safe. Safety is not something you get from other people. Safety comes from your boundaries, your ability to speak up for yourself, and your ability to tell people what your needs are. Okay. And if you're not doing that for yourself, then you don't feel safe within yourself, because you don't trust yourself to stand up for yourself or prioritize what it is that you need. And so my advice to you, my love, is disappoint her. If you're going to be a disappointment anyways, at least have fun doing it. At least do something you actually want to do. Okay? This is about you showing up for yourself now and realizing that, take the labels away. I think so many of us think, oh, because this is family, I owe them intolerable loyalty. I'm the first person to cut somebody off about me, because I don't play about me. The inner me who's watching this all go down, the inner me, she knows that I'm gonna show up for her. She even allowed me to take my own decisions. Yeah, I think you need to be okay with letting that go if it's not making you feel good, my love. Period. If you order the deck, I would order it directly from the manufacturer and not the pre-order. I mean, it just depends, because a lot of people just recently got a refund on the pre-orders. And so if by the end of next week, if I don't have enough people, then I'm going to end up refunding the pre-orders. Yeah, then you know what to do, love. You just have to put yourself out there and do that, because you deserve to be in a community that supports you and sees you and honors you where you are. And you don't have to shrink or diminish yourself to be in proximity to those people. She's asking you to consistently fragment yourself just to be in her presence. That's not worth it. Yeah, you got to learn boundaries, baby. All right, Mackenzie, where you at, girl? And then we got, actually, no, I think before you, Mackenzie, was Hobby. Are you still here? Jovi. Am I saying that right? And then Mackenzie, I got you next. You are very welcome, my love. I didn't even mean to do that type of reading, but I got you though, friend. Don't worry. You're welcome, my love. Okay. Jovi, I'll do you after Mackenzie then. Mackenzie, since I see you right here, we doing you. And then after this, I got to scram. Oh, okay, you here. Okay, let me do Mackenzie and then I got you. Okay, Mackenzie, for you, I get the grief gates, the 5 of waters. Okay, the 5 of waters. The 5 of waters is about sacred sorrow. It's about emotional release, mourning, ancestral pain, soul loss, disappointment, heartbreak, and grief as initiation. The 5 of water marks a threshold of sorrow, a sacred aching space where something once held dear is lost or transforming. It may be the death of a relationship, the ending of a dream, or the rise of old pain that has waited lifetimes to be felt. Grief is not a detour, it's a rite of passage. It softens you. Okay. When this card appears, you're being asked to honor what has been lost without rushing to fix it or transcend it. Okay. Water must move to remain clear. And grief is the current that carries your heart back to wholeness. Grief softens us. It allows us to feel again, And so what this is saying is you are not broken. You are being baptized. You are not weak. You are being made more human, meaning like dropping into your heart space. And so the lesson here is that grief is not the end of the story. It's the sacred turning of the page. Okay. So whatever it is that you're going right now, Ask yourself what it is that you need. Make sure that you make yourself comfortable as you navigate it. Be nice to yourself, be compassionate, and be honest with yourself, because whatever is coming up it's a threshold point. On the other side of that is what you want. But you have to acknowledge it. You have to hold yourself. You have to nurture and remother yourself. Okay. That was for Mackenzie. And this one's for you, Jovi. And then I'm gone. Does that make sense, Mackenzie? Good rising. You are welcome, my love. I think a lot of grief has been coming up for me too. It sucks, but it made me understand what it was that I needed. This is for Jovi. Okay, we got the King of Breath. We got a new card for you. Boop. Look at him. Tell me that's not your Uncle Amos. Gots to be. Okay. So we have the King of Breath. And this is for Jovi. This is about rigidity. It's about over control, logic over intuition, truth as hierarchy, fixed mindsets, and intellectual superiority. In the shadow, the breath steward becomes overbearing. The desire to guide turns into the need to control. You may find yourself attached to being right, mistaking logic for wisdom, or dismissing emotional or intuitive insights. This king forgets that truth is shared frequency, not a personal possession. Okay. So you got to learn how to control what is necessary to control, because I think control can lead to success and prosperity. But it becomes overbearing when it becomes about other people or on an individual level. As well. Well, there is also a danger of spiritual elitism, believing your way is the highest way because it's the clearest way. Do it my way. I know what I'm talking about. Do it my way. But clarity without humility becomes confinement. The mind may dominate the room, but it forgets how to listen. And so this is telling you that you need to consider the perspectives of other people. The advice is you don't need a throne to lead, just presence that honors every voice, meaning like you got to consider other people's perspectives. You got to make sure you're listening. I think a lot of times when we try to logic our way through things, or we try to intellectualize our way through things, this card is telling you to drop back into feeling, because that'll allow you to bring compassion into your leadership. That will also allow you to listen more openly. I think there's something we can learn from everybody. And understanding that truth is a shared frequency is something that we all feel in our bones. And so release control a little bit. I think sometimes when we don't feel safe as a kid, we try to control the outcomes of everything. I try to control myself, but I also try to control the people around me. I need them to show up in specific ways in order for me to feel safe. But that's not our job. I try to attack it with strategy. But again, that's your mind overriding your body. And so what this card is saying is get back into your body, because that's where true control is. And pay attention to how things make you feel. If it makes you feel good, yes, go towards it. If it doesn't, move away from it. But you also need to have a level of surrender. Okay. Understanding that we're really not in control, and that it's okay. You can't really control how things are going to show up or anything like that. So don't focus on that. If you're focused on the future, look at what the goal is, but focus on one thing you can do today to get you closer. If it's family and people around you, you're never going to be able to help them unless they're ready to change. And so you need to ask yourself before you even share your perspective or anything, is this person willing to change? And if the answer is no, you'll be beating a dead horse. You might as well just keep the mouth closed. Put your lippy in a zippy. And that's what I learned from personal experience, because I dealt with a lot of rigidity as well, because I was just trying to be safe. It's not a bad thing. But I hope that helps, my love. All right. Peace, goddess. I'm back. Oh, I'm about to be out, girl. I'm sorry. I got to go. I've been on here for about 3.5 hours. I might be on here tomorrow. Who am I kidding? I might be on here tomorrow. We'll see. But I will probably definitely be on here. No, that's a lie. What does my schedule look like tomorrow? Hold on. Let me look at my schedule, y'all. You are so very welcome, my love. Oh, are you? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's because I keep seeing mother. It's because I am my mother. I'm sorry, sir. I'll take that one. I apologize. I do not want to misgender you at all. Okay. I'm absent-minded, and sometimes I don't get shit right because I'm human. Okay. It's nothing but love, though. I promise you. I might be on here tomorrow because I only got a couple things to do tomorrow. But I do want to say I got a couple of people who book services with me who have not reached back out to me. I think Austin is one of them. Austin, if you see this live, I've emailed you, but your email is bouncing back to me. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. And so if you want your reading, please reach out to me. I know there's also a Sarah. You booked 2 services with me. I've emailed you multiple times. The email is going through, but I just haven't received a response from you. There's also a Kayla. Kayla wanted a flame reflective reading. I've emailed you a couple times. Dana, I've emailed you a couple times. Angelique, Cinnamon. I've emailed y'all a million gajillion times. If you see this, hit me up. I've given my email a couple times in this video. Oh, Mrs. Jones, that's such a great question. I kind of move based off of when it feels right. So there is no specific time for lives. I know this week I've been coming on around 4:30, maybe 5. But I'm unreliable because whenever spirit moves me is when I do it. I gotta be in the mood. And sometimes I think that I'm in the mood and I'm not. So I'm gonna try to be on here Thursday. And if I do come on, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna come on tomorrow and not Thursday. If I do, it'll probably be around like 3 instead of later because I got a client at 5 and I got a client. I don't get done until 7:30 on Thursday. And so I might, if I come on tomorrow, it's gonna be around like 3. That much I do know. But if you don't see me on at 3, I'm probably not gonna get on. Now, if you want to know when I'm going live, though, my Patreon. I have a Patreon where I have a free community chat, and I'm usually just giving announcements in that community chat. And so the Patreon is www.patreon.com/becomingknown. Also YouTube. If you follow me on YouTube, usually I make posts on YouTube as well. But yeah. Now I might be on here tomorrow. Might not. It depends. I'm going to try to be on here tomorrow, but I will let y'all know in Patreon if I will. But besides that, I love y'all deep. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. We was on here for about 3.5 hours, period. When it got me doing puzzles and shit. It's okay. I'm about to leave. So I love y'all deep. I will probably see y'all tomorrow. If not, if you need me, call me, beat me. All right. Love y'all. Bye. Okay, let's get this out of here.